At the tail end of the video, I may do a full-blown dating site video update, but I think I'm going to reserve that for tomorrow on Sunday to give you an idea of the type of things that you have to go through if you go on a dating site, which I'm not a member of, but I have viewed a few 7 or 8 years. When I was in America, I was on a dating site. And eventually I did meet Daisy, she was the only honest woman I ever met on a dating site. But today's live stream is going to be about the virus and the masks. That's going to be the premise of today's live stream. These people that are in charge, they're implementing rules for 5,000 pesos per incident fines if you are a cab driver and you don't have a mask on, if you are a jeepney driver and you don't have a mask on, or if you work on a vessel, because I did go to Cebu yesterday on I think it was the 7th, and all of the crew, including the first mate and the pilot of the ship, they all had masks on. And when I went there in the morning, I got up, I caught an early ferry. I'll also give you the schedule from Bohol to Cebu. The first boat from Bohol leaves at 5:10 a.m. I didn't catch that boat. I didn't know it existed, otherwise I would have been on that boat. And then the second one leaves at 6:12, and then the third one leaves at 7:05. So if you're going to Cebu from Bohol, the first boat leaves at 5, then 6:12, then 7:05. And if you're coming back from Cebu to Bohol, the last boat for Ocean Jet Ferry leaves at 4 o'clock. But I gotta tell you, you got to get there earlier than 3:30 or 3 o'clock if you want to guarantee yourself a ticket, and there's still no guarantee. And I have a video that I may or may not post in regards to that. I got it. The people in Cebu, it has gotten progressively worse. The cab drivers, they can't figure out enough ways to squeeze a few extra pesos out of you. So the last boat on Ocean Jet Ferries leaves at 4:20 in the afternoon. However, you need to get there early. And considering the lack of people that I saw in the malls and on the streets and in the banks, and I went to 4 different malls, the lack of people, I think this virus has these people afraid of going out in public. In fact, 2 of the people I was going to meet would not go out and meet me because they didn't want to meet in a mall. So I have video of the Ayala Mall at 11 o'clock in the morning, and it was virtually empty. There was no one in the mall. I'm talking about 4 stores that I actually went into to purchase a product, and no one was in any of the stores. John, welcome to the machine. Let me see what's going on here. And then I'm going to tell you about the boat riding. David, welcome to the machine. John Escape, missing YouTuber cringe channel. Welcome to the machine. I heard, to answer your question, Mrs. Missing YouTuber, I heard there were some cases of the coronavirus. I don't keep up with it. I personally, I don't keep up with it because there's three reasons that I don't keep up with it. Number one, I'm not going to get it. Number two, I do believe that they are way over advertising how to prevent it. I don't believe there's a way to prevent it. And from what I've read, there is no way to prevent it. And I'll tell you why there's no way to prevent this particular strain or virus. It's impossible. It's just not possible. There's no way on this flat plane that we live on that the virus, if the statistics of how long the virus lives while it's off the human body, if those are correct, 5 days, if you touch a doorknob, the virus is still applicable to be ingested in one way or another into your body. You can't prevent that. I'll give you 50, I could give you 1,000 different ways it could get into your system. However, Go Bobo sister, welcome to the machine. I haven't seen you in a while. You've been in the sidelines. Let's see. He canceled. I'm not seeing my full screen, and I don't. Oh, you know what? I need to open up my channel so I could see the comments. Give me a few seconds. I have, in order to see the whole of the comments, I'm going to need to view my full screen. So let's refresh this page here. I'm not able to touch my computer because the plug, the jack that goes into the computer from the internet is playing hard to get. You have to just adjust. You have to adjust the wire. So let's see what Go Bobo sister has to say. I canceled my April trip to Cebu due to the virus. Yes, Jack. Dear, and I don't know who you're talking to. I don't see any comment from Jack. Well, okay, so, all right, so let me go. First, let me say I was in the Ayala Mall, and I went into what is called the Octagon on the 3rd floor, which is where they sell electronics. And one of the electronics that I bought is someplace around here. Was a 7 into 1. Hold on, I have the box. I'll show you the box. I don't know where I put the unit. And it was a really good price. This was in the store, in the Asus, in the store that sells Asus computers. It's a 7 into 1 port. So in other words, it has one wire that goes into your computer, and then you can, I should have had that out. And then you can put 7 plugs. I know where it is. I think. Not that. Oh, here it is. Okay, here it is. Okay, you can put seven plugs, 7 USB ports into this unit. So I have 11 USB ports that I need to do what I do with the computer. And I already have a 1 into 7 from America from 2001 or 2000. So that still works just fine, but I wanted to get another one. So this was 600 pesos, $12. And it's well worth it because the new computers only come with 3 USB ports. So you really need something like this anyway, because the new computers don't come with a DVD or CD-ROM drive. They don't come with a card reader either. So you need 2 plugs just for your CDs, storage, and your card reader. You'll use up 5 plugs. Anybody will use up 5 plugs. So this was a great little gadget. It was only 600 pesos, and this was in the Octagon on the 3rd floor. And it was 600 pesos, $12. So there was nobody, there was no one at all. There wasn't even one person in the store. There were 4 salespeople, and no one was in the store at 11:30 a.m. in the morning. There was no one. So another thing I wanted to get was a battery for a very old watch I have. It's not a real valuable watch, but it's a nice looking watch. It's an old Pulsar watch, the one with the ruby crystal. You can't buy the battery in the Philippines. So I went to 2 stores in ICM Mall in Bohol, 1 store in the ICM, 2 stores in the BQ, 3 watch repairs in the city of Bohol itself. All of those people said, just go to Cebu. just go to Cebu. Just wake up at 4:30 in the morning. Just prepare yourself to get on a boat at 7. Just take a 2-hour trip. Just go from the boat port to the malls and just start asking people for the battery. That's the instructions that they give you. Each person, when I said I cannot find the battery anywhere in Bohol, this is the part about the Philippines that's pretty much consistent. If they don't have it, they tell you to go to some far off distant land. When I was looking to purchase cargo containers to resell, just go to Manila. They have them there. Just go to Cebu, and they have them there. So the last time Daisy and I went to Cebu to look for cargo containers in June, they had 100 places that stored cargo containers, but nobody had any for sale. In order to find one for sale, I had to hire a broker who knew where they were, and we had to go to Talisay, which is down by the big SM Mall, I think it is, or one of that big mall with the cube. I call it the Cube Mall. And we found one there to resell for sale. However, so the watch repair that I went into was near the Octagon, and he did not have a battery. And he explained to me on the ground floor there's another watch repair, and there is, and it's a store that sells exquisite watches. It's kind of like they sell Wittenhauer and Rolex watches, but I didn't see any Rolex, but they sell high-end watches. Well, they didn't have a battery, and that store was empty. And they didn't have a list that they could order the battery from. Even though I said I will order 4 and pay you in advance, both stores declined that offer. So there was a third watch repair, and he said, no, sir, we don't have the battery, and we don't have a list either. But his store was empty also. Then I went to look for a bracket for the tablet to mount to a tripod, and that store was empty. There was no one in the store at all. There wasn't even one person in any of these stores. And those brackets existed. However, you could not mount it to a tripod. They had one that you could mount to the windshield of a car. And when I asked her how much, and it's just, when I picked it up, the mounting suction cup bracket fell off the mount for the tablet. It just fell off because it was defective. So this is the one she handed me to buy. And that was 1,200 pesos or $25. And I don't think the whole thing weighed 8 ounces of cheap, and it was cheap grade plastic. So there was no one in that store either. Not even one person. And that was like between 11 and 12, I'm talking about these stores. So I went into then I walked around the mall to the trellis, what they call the trellises, and that's where the escalators are. And there was, typically that's like a spot where people go and congregate. No one. There was one lady there, and the reason that I mentioned the trellises, I don't know that I'm going to post this part of the dating site, how to guarantee yourself a date in the Philippines. One way, this is the simplest way. If you're coming to the Philippines and you want to date somebody, you want to meet a girl, there's an area in the Ayala Mall called the trellises, the escalators, and you'll see concrete walkways around flower gardens. That is typically where a lot of foreigners and a lot of Filipinos will go to meet. It's just an outside garden, and I have never been there where it hasn't been crowded at lunchtime, and there was no one at all sitting in the area of the gardens, and there was one girl on the trellis while I was making a video of the escalator, and I know why she was there. She was there to meet somebody, and his name was Clark. And so I walked over and introduced myself, and she told me her name, but she didn't want to be on camera. And I said to her, are you here to meet somebody? Because I know why she's there. She said, yes. I said, what's his name? She said, Clark. I said, how long have you known Clark? Oh, I don't know Clark. I'm just going to sell Clark some products, some beauty products. So I said to her, what is the beauty products that you're going to sell him? She goes, well, if I take it out of my pocketbook, you will have to buy it. So I'm going, what kind of a deal is that? So she was pretty clear that if she took it out of her pocketbook and showed me what the beauty products were, that I would have to give her 1,000 pesos. Well, that would be one way to guarantee yourself a date with this young lady. So I declined. I didn't want to play a game with her. So I said, no. She goes, well, I also have vitamins. I said, no, I don't need any vitamins. Thank you. Yeah, these vitamins, they'll keep you healthy. And I'm going, well, whatever her name was, I forgot. I said, no, I don't want any vitamins, but I'm sure that they'll work, for Clark. So I don't know what kind of vitamins she had, and I don't care. So the point of the video is this virus thing has got people scared out of their wits. So from the Ayala Mall, before I went to the Ayala Mall, I went to the Insular Life Building to do some business there. And the business went well. For those of my friends that know what business that was, it worked out well. Then I went to the mall at 10 o'clock, and I stayed in the mall until about 11:45, the Ayala Mall. And in the Ayala Mall, I counted 27 people. In the entire mall, outside of the work staff, 27 people. In the 45 minutes I was in the mall proper, 27 people between the hours of, like, say, 10:30, 10:45, and 11:45. 27 people in the entire Ayala Mall, and half of them had on masks. So digressing back from that mall, I went to the J Mall, and the J Mall was just as empty. There was no one at the gate to walk into the J Mall, and I went to the watch repair on the first floor in the back of the building, and there was I didn't pass any people at all, and this was at noontime. There was no one in the mall. So I had already gone to the other two watch shops in that mall, and I didn't need anything else except a bracket to mount the tablet on. And I went to that store. No one was in the store, and they didn't have a bracket. They had them for the big, I think they call them the iPhones or Androids. I'm not sure, but the brackets weren't big enough. So no one was in the J Mall on the first floor at all. No one. And no one was in the store to sell the bracketing. This virus thing has people flabbergasted. So I'm going to give you 50 ways you can't prevent the virus. It's not possible. According to the statistics of the virus itself, it's not possible to prevent it. And the people I wanted to meet in Cebu that normally if I go to Cebu, we'll have lunch or breakfast or dinner. They would not come out of the house. They weren't going to leave their house, and I don't blame them. But because this thing has got it's shutting down the industry of sales in the Philippines. So from that mall, I went to Cebu Hardware, commercial grade industrial hardware store, to buy a rebar bender that was supposed to be on display. So now all of these places that I went to, I took a cab, and I hadn't realized that the law was in effect at this point. I didn't actually find out about the mandated $100 fine or 5,000 peso fine if a cab driver or a jeepney driver or anybody that works on a boat, they have to wear a mask. So I went to this commercial grade. Now, this is just a note about the Philippines. When the people in Cebu, in Bohol, said go to Cebu to get the battery, they couldn't tell you where to get the battery. They couldn't tell you what store. They couldn't tell you what mall. They just said go to Cebu. They have them there. You know, there are probably, I don't know, 100,000 stores in Cebu. Then they want you to figure out which one to go to. So, but each store that you go to, this is typical Philippines directions. Each store you go to, that person is absolutely sure. They're 100% sure that what you need is in the store down the road 2 kilometers, or at the Ayala Mall, or around the back from the Ayala Mall, or they are so sure. So I go to the Cebu commercial industrial grade equipment hardware store where they sell. Then they had a 16-inch miter to cut steel. That's not what I went there for. I went there for a rebar bender with a hydraulic cutter combination that I called up last week, and I spoke with a gentleman named Sherwin, who I met in June when Daisy and I went to the same hardware store. It's right around the corner from the Port, P-O-R-T, Port Hotel. And it's almost in the North Reclamation area. So I went to the store, and Sherman, I spoke with them, I think it was last Monday, so that was like 6 days ago. Yes, sir, we have it in stock. The piece of equipment I want to go look at. Now, they were supposed to get it in stock by October, but they didn't have it in October. Then I called up in November, and the woman said, yes, sir, it's coming in November. And then last week I called up and spoke with Sherwin, and he says, yes, sir, we have it in stock. So I went there to buy it, or to look at it, to see if it was the product that they had in their catalog that they showed me in June. This store is the biggest, with the most varied items in commercial grade hardware, tools, and building supplies, samples of floor tiles, samples of outside metal roofing, samples of outside sheathing for different types of exterior decorations, caulking, screw guns, different types of specialty, like staples for a special staple gun to put down the floors. They have all of this stuff there. The store is 175 to 200 feet deep. It goes from one side of the block to the other, but the storefront is 75 feet wide and 80 feet deep, with nothing but commercial grade tools and equipment. So I walk in and I ask for Sherwin, and Sherwin's not here. It's day off. And I'm going, how could he have a day off on Friday? You know, the people in that store work 6 days a week. So I asked for the lady, and I forgot her name. I said, what happened to the lady that I knew where she sat, her desk, and now she's off today. So I said, okay. So where is the rebar bender cutting machine that you have? Oh, yes, sir. So they take me over to a corner of the store, and there's a unit that cuts rebar, but you put like a 4-foot bar pipe on it, and you pull the pipe down. It's like a big scissors. I said, no, the hydraulic one. Sir, out of stock. So I said, may I speak with the manager? Because there's a desk for the manager that sits separate from the rest of the people. He can observe what everybody's doing. So he comes over and says, how can I help you? And I said, well, I spoke with Sherwin last Monday. He said you got a rebar bender in stock. Yes, sir. So I said, and a rebar cutter. Yes, sir. Well, may I see it? That was why I came here. Yes, sir. So he brings me over to a power miter. It's really a big cutoff saw. It's a 16-inch, some oddball name, with a giant carborundum blade on it. So you could cut like 2-inch steel with this, but it's still just a giant cutoff saw. They make a rebar bender cutting hydraulic machine that just goes like this, it'll snip a 1.5-inch piece of rebar, no problem. But this thing you have to, and it's all mounted to the rebar bender. This thing you have to plug it in, you have to have an extension cord, you have to pull it down. It grinds it cuts the rebar with a grinding blade. The grinding blade wears out. The blades are like $30 a piece. You wouldn't get a lot of cuts if you were doing a lot of thick metal cutting. You wouldn't get a lot of cuts out of it. I don't know how many you would. It depends on the quality of the blade, of course. But I said, no, sir, I want the hydraulic rebar bender. I heard it's in stock. Yes, sir. So he walks me over to where the lady who guaranteed me it would be in stock in October, then November, and then afterwards. And he opens up a book, and he shows me a picture of a rebar bender, but no hydraulic cutter. He says, this is the machine you wish to see. I figured, well, yeah, that's probably, maybe it's in the back warehouse. Yes, sir, we have these in stock. I said to him, well, may I see it? Yes, sir. And he points to the book. I said, no, I would like to see the machine. I want to pick one end of the machine up. I know what they weigh. They weigh between 400 and 600 pounds, depending on the machine and if it has the cutter in it. No, sir. No, sir. What? No, sir. What? No, sir. What? No, sir. Sir, it's in stock, but in Manila. Now, that wasn't the only reason why I went to Cebu. Otherwise, I would have got upset a little bit. But so I said to him, but Sherwin said you had it in stock. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We have it in stock. It's in Manila. So I said, so I open up, I put my glasses on and I look in the book and I said, but this one doesn't have the cutter. No, sir. And he flips the page to the next page. And the next page has a hydraulic rebar cutter. It's the same size machine, basically, but it doesn't have a rebar bender. Now, they make a combination of rebar bender, rebar cutter that's in the same machine. And I said, yes, sir, but all right, so how much is this machine, the rebar bender? So he tells me 350,000 pesos, $7,000. And I said, and how much is the rebar cutter? The same, sir. I said, so that's 2 machines for $14,000 or 700,000 pesos. Yes, sir. I said, but what about the one machine with both? No, sir. They don't make those. I says, they don't make those or you don't stock those? Yes, sir. I'm going, how do these people, how do they get to work in the morning? So they make a rebar bender, rebar cutter, but they don't have it. And their idea of being in stock is to show you a picture and to tell you it's in Manila, and they wish to ask you for $14,000 to bring them to the store, and you own them at that point. So, that was so. So there was another store. So I never got to the other store, but that's what they do. Now I couldn't find a battery. I did find this, and this unit here, the 7-into-1 at the Octagon in IL Mall. In the other malls, they have 4-into-1 or 5-into-1, depending on the mall. But nobody had the 7-into-1. So I got one thing: no batteries. The machine wasn't available. So when I don't remember asking the manager of his name, but if he said his name, he tried to explain to me that you just give us a deposit, not because he didn't want the full 14, and we will bring the machines here. I said, that was, but the lady promised me they would be in the store, on display. Yes, sir. She no longer works here. I said, well, it doesn't look like any. There were 18. Now, I'm not exaggerating. You go to the Port Hotel and you look across the street and you'll see a sign that says hardware. It's an alleyway. You walk through the alleyway and you walk to the store. They have 5 concrete mixers in front of the store. They have an automatic lift, cable lift for $2,000 on the side of the store. They have all kinds of commercial equipment outside the store and inside the store also. There are 18 people in the store working, and there was no one in that store either. That's the point. That's one point of me talking about the store. There were 18 representatives. Most of them were doing paperwork, but there were also stockers and I guess warehouse people. I don't know what they did, but there was 18 people I counted in the store. No one had a mask on, but no one was working. So I said to the manager, I said, sir, do you think there's 18 people here? I counted. Yes, sir. I says, maybe you think that there's no one in the store buying anything? That included the security guard. Maybe do you think there's no one in the store buying anything because you people make promises that you don't keep? Yes, sir. I don't know. But this guy is a yes man. So I said, can you tell me where to buy one of these machines? No, sir. I said, so you're the manager of the biggest industrial hardware sales company in this area of Cebu, and you can't tell me about a competitor that might have? No, sir. I don't know of any. So I walk out into the yard, and there was a guy doing a repair on a piece of equipment that worked for the company that made 19. And I asked him where there was another company. And he said 2 kilometers down this road. And he gave me the name. And I just don't remember the name. But I did tell the cab driver I wished to go there. So we went 2 kilometers down the road, and there was no store by that name. And when we stopped to ask people where the store was, I went into an enterprise paint warehouse. Warehouse was a whole block, so it was a big business. They didn't know. I went into a hydraulic repair shop. They didn't know. I went into what else? What else did I go in? It was one other store I went in. It sold automotive parts, but it sold hydraulic fluid. It was basically an oil and fluid store. They did not know either. So I just turned the cab around and I said, bring me back to the J Mall because I had a dentist appointment. So he had a mask on as well. So he brings me back to the J Mall. I got to tell you, they changed the, oh God, Cebu. It's just a never-ending disaster when you're in Cebu. It doesn't stop with the things that are unavailable and everybody knows where they are. So I'm on a line. We're on our way back to the J Mall. It's hard to explain. But we are at least 1,000 feet away from the light. So the last time I was in Cebu in June with Daisy and we were at that light, we were staying at a hotel right near the light, near the J Mall. And at that distance, it would take three turns of the light to get in to make the left-hand turn. So I said to the cab driver, I says, I'm going to get out here. But we will make a left. The J Mall is, I said, I know where the J Mall is. Thank you. I'm going to get out here. So I did. And I walked the street. And they changed the way the lights work. So if you're, it took me, you're not allowed to jaywalk on that corner. They'll give you a ticket. There'll be an officer there that will give you a traffic officer that'll give you a 400 peso ticket. So I walked up to the light, and sure enough, the lights used to be the roads would go in two directions, and then you'd have a turning lane for like 45 seconds. Well, they did away with that. They've actually made it better. So they did away with the left-hand turning. Now what they do is they let traffic go in one direction for 125 seconds. The other direction is stopped. So for 125 seconds, you can go this way or make the left turn. Then this direction stops. Then this direction coming towards you goes for 125 seconds. And you could make the left-hand turn from that direction. And then from the right side and the left side is an additional 125 seconds. So that's, if you were on the corner of the RCBC Bank corner, it will take you 375 seconds to legally walk across the street. Because when the traffic's going this way, you can only walk to the center divider. Then when the traffic's going this way, you can only walk across the street to Jollibee's. Then when from Jollibee's to get to the side of the street where the J Mall is, that's another 125 seconds. So 375 seconds is how long? Well, I think that's 7 minutes plus. So it takes you 7 minutes. So when I was walking, when I got out of the cab, I walked over to the RCBC Bank. It took me 7 minutes to walk across the street legally to get catty corner, to walk this way to the divider, across the divider to Jollibee's, and then across the street. It took 7 minutes. 7 minutes. It's the longest light in the history. It's the longest light in the world, maybe. I don't know. And the traffic officer was not there, and everybody was jaywalking, and that was screwing up traffic. That was an amazing. So now I'm going to go read the comments. All right. So Gogo Bobo canceled his trip. No net, no net, no net. Okay. So no net. Yeah, we have net. Okay. All right. The net went back on, I think. Let's see what happens. Yep. Okay. So pound sign number 3. Thanks for the thumbs up, John Escape. Michael McFarland saying hello to John. Letchenberg. Every time he catches the flu, it's the bird flu. Okay. Kerry Murphy says, no masks around me for over a week. Well, I'll give you 100 reasons. I'll just count them. Okay. It's impossible to stop this virus if it is what they say it is. Okay. So Big Adam, we want to go to Mars. We can't manufacture enough masks. That's right. Right? That's a great comment. I get to go to Cebu and Negros. Okay, Michael, that's nice. This month, bolt cutters. No, bolt cutters won't. You cannot. It's like a bolt cutter, but it's a shear, and that the shear that the man showed me. Theoretically, you could cut 1 1/8 inch rebar with it, but you'd need a 6-foot bar. It would have to be mounted down to a concrete surface or some heavy-duty surface, and you'd have to have 2 men pulling down on the bar. I'm not doing it like that. Okay, so Charmin Azarazable. Hello, Michael. Yeah, that's quite the name you have there. Charmin Daraznabel. Shaman Daraznabel. Welcome to the machine, Shaman Daraznabel. None of your business. Good to see you, brother. Thank you for stopping by. None of your business. Welcome to the machine. Okay, let me see what these other comments are before I get there. All right, Pemberson is just trolling here. We could have bent the rebar by now with some pipe and clamps. Yeah, you're not going to bend 12,000 bends with pipe and clamps. Apparently you know nothing about construction, and you could have bent one or two pieces. These machines will bend 3 1-inch rebars stacked on top of each other, make a 10-degree bend, a 20-degree bend, a 45-degree bend, or a 90-degree bend, or a 180-degree bend in under 3 seconds, 3 1-inch rebars. So we can do without any more of your construction knowledge, Pemberson. You have none. So good morning, Michael. You live an exciting life there, my friend. We try. So let's see what else Slim Jim. Slim Jim always has an intelligent, well-written, and grammatically correct style of writing. He doesn't make spelling mistakes. He always leaves 1 or 2 paragraphs or comments in a video. I'm amazed Slim Jim nailed it. And Slim Jim, I think he lives in the Philippines. I'm amazed they can tie shoelaces, let alone find their way to work. Good morning, Graham. Welcome to the machine. Okay, so this fella, the manager, I'm not going to say his name. And you know what? All he said was, yes, sir. I mean, he agreed with everything I said. Yes, CDO. This is, all right, so let's get back to the virus. Okay, so let me show you something. Okay, if the virus lasts for 5 days, okay, and you have coins in your pocket, then that means that these have to be devirused. Okay, if the virus lasts for 5 days and you have paper money in your pocket, this has to be devirused or cleansed. Okay, if you get onto a jeepney, and apparently if someone sneezes, the germs can sit on the railing or the chair in front of you or the bench in front of you. That has to be cleansed. So if you're in a jeepney and you touch the bar that hold on to the bar while you're underway, the germs could be on the jeepney. Then it goes on to your hands. Then it goes on to your coins. Then it goes on to the paper money. Then it goes on to your shirt, because you're always wiping your hands off when you touch those bars in the jeepneys or the buses. You touch your shirt. So now your shirt has the virus on it. So all day long, people were washing their hands with this alcoholic beverage cocktail that they have in their backpack. They selling a lot of that stuff. The whole boat stunk inside the aircon room. The whole boat stunk of alcoholic hand wash or sanitary hand wash. The inside the aircon. I go outside. So in the malls, there were people wiping their hands down with the alcoholic, sanitizer as well. But that won't work. So if you're in a cab and someone is talking, small pieces of spittle goes out on the bench, on the seat, on the seat, the front seat where the driver is, the dashboard, the door handle. It goes from your mouth to the door handle, it goes to the outside door handle. Someone's getting in your car. That's not possible to stop this virus. And here's another thing. Now, I did have, I don't know what the heck I did with those things. I had 2 of the, here they are. Yep, can't touch the computer. I had 2 of these. I didn't know they were 95 masks. These are the masks that they recommend. They're worthless. They're totally worthless. Because, well, first of all, you couldn't wear one all day, because when you breathe through it, the moisture from your lungs comes out and makes the mask wet, and then it starts dribbling down your chin. That I saw a few of, people with wet masks. Then they have those bandito masks, like the one of the picture that I posted for the thumbnail, and that was the men inside the Ocean Jet Ferry, the 888 Ocean Jet Ferry one. Those masks don't have the filtration necessary. This is supposed to filter out the virus, but the virus can go in through any fluid opening in your body. That's your ears, your eyes, even your cuticles. When you wash your hands, it can go in through your cuticles, it can go in through a cut, and of course it goes in through breathing. So it's not possible to stop the virus with a mask. And everybody's wearing a mask, and now they mandated masks, but you can't buy masks anywhere. And there was absolutely, there was 27 people in the Ayala Mall at 11 o'clock in the morning. In the J Mall on the ground floor, no one, not even one person other than the people that worked in the store. No one was in the J Mall at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Not one person. I'm going. Now, there were people going up to the second floor, a few people, but there was no one on the ground floor. When you walk in, right where the locksmith is there was no one on the ground floor. And I didn't go. I went into the paint, the warehouse that sold the Enterprise paint. It's near the North Reclamation area. It's a whole block. There was like 12 staff secretaries. No one was in the store to buy. Now, maybe that's an online business, or they do their commercial grade shipping from that store, but no one was in the store. They had a counter with a register. No one was in the store. So then I went to the dentist, which I had an appointment for, and I told him I was going to come on Friday, and he said, just come in. And I got there at exactly 5 minutes to 12 from the Ayala Mall, because it was close. There was not much traffic. And he said, come back at 2 o'clock. So that's when I went to the J Mall, and I did, I went to 2 other stores for various reasons, nothing important. I just went to look in a hydraulic store. I need some hydraulic. If I told you what I need a set of hydraulic repair ring kits for a pair of pistons on a hydraulic excavator. Can't get them in Bohol. The man said to me in Bohol, this is another amazing thing in the Philippines. I gave him the model number of the machine, and I gave him the serial number of the machine. And he said, can you bring the rings in, sir? I said, well, I guess I could, but how will that help you? I just gave you the model number, the serial number, and the year that the machine was made. We will find them by measuring them. So he took out a vernier caliper. It's a slides up and down. I'm not going to go get one, and he's going to go into his stock in the back of rings, used and new, and he's going to find a set of rings for a 1990-91 model of a piece of equipment that I can't find in a catalog, and he's going to find it in his stock in the back. So he wants me to take the machine apart, the pistons apart, at least one, take the piston off, break the piston down, pop the rings off, and then bring them to Bohol, and he's going to look at his stock. I said, tell you what, so this was 2 weeks ago. May I see your stock? And he said, yes, sir. And this is a lot of yes, sir, and going on in the Philippines. Nothing happening, but a lot of yes, sir. Welcome to the machine, Dennis Adam. Thank you for stopping by, Dennis. One of my favorite YouTubers. He makes videos about coal stoves, and coal stoves are a cheap way to heat your house in America. So if you're thinking about buying a coal stove, or you're thinking about if you have one and you don't know how to use it, Dennis Adam has a channel, shows you how to stoke it, how to fill it, how to store the coal, how much the coal costs, how to put the coal in the coal stove so that it burns most efficiently. Now, Dennis Adam has a great channel. If you want to heat your house with coal, then he tells you the difference between coal and wood, and why he burns coal instead of wood. And Dennis and I had a conversation for about a half an hour about an additional piece of equipment you can put on the flue pipe. It's like a radiator, but it sucks the heat out of the flue pipe. It's a box about 14 inches by 14 inches, and it has a kind of radiator in it, and it sucks the heat out of the flue pipe. Or you could just have a long flue pipe run across the ceiling, and that will let most of the heat out in the house. So Dennis and I, we talked about that. But Dennis has a real good channel. Well, it's not, Graham, it's not a press. Hydraulic press is a vertical instrument. This is a rebar bender. It sits on a table like a table saw, and it bends the rebar. You could look it up online. Or I could look it up online and show you. I could show it to you. I have a playlist. I'm going to put the aircon on, so there's going to be some background music. I'll show you what a rebar bender looks like and how it works. Hold on. It's going to take a minute to get to that video. All right. So digressing back to the virus, it's not stoppable with masks, yet they're mandating masks in the cabs, the jeepneys, and the boats. So I will show you, let's go here. I will show you what a automatic rebar bender looks like, Graham. It's not a hydraulic press is for pressing bearings. You can use it to bend steel, and it is used to bend steel in a hydraulic shop if you just have to wink it a little bit, but it's completely a hydraulic press. It's all hydraulic, but it's not called a hydraulic press. They're two different things. It's real simple. All right, so hold on. Rebar bender, automatic, auto rebar bender. All right, let's see if I can find it with that search. Okay, here we go. All right, so here is, there's lots of automatic rebar benders, but here it is right here. This is just, see, it just pivots, and you adjust it by putting dowel pins in here. So if you want 10 degrees, 15 degrees, 16, whatever these are, and then you change the size of the bending radiuses. And here's a different one here. Same principle, but just a different machine. So if you open this up, automatic steel rebar bender. Let's open this up and let's kill the sound. Let's kill the sound and let's kill the video, and I'll show you the full size screen of it. All right, so this is the full size screen of the rebar bender. So what you do is the rebar will go in here, and then this plate pushes the rebar around in a circle around this bending radius here. So you have different radiuses, and these are just storage racks for different radiuses. And then the machine, it turns. And the guy took a dowel out of there, and you can adjust the radius. So let's see if we get it turned. All right, here's one where it's turning. So the rebar goes in there up against the flat stock, and then when it bends, it goes like this. It goes. Now, he just did that with a piece of number 4 bar. Now he's going to do it with 6 bar.
So he put a piece of 6-bar in there. That's a 3/4-inch rebar. Okay, now watch how fast this happens. Oh, okay. He put 2 number 4 bars in, or number 3 bars. I can't tell. But now that's 2 pieces of stock. Okay. But you got to keep it in mind that you could do it with 3 1-inch pieces of rebar as well. So I guess he's working his way up to 1-inch bar. Let's see what happens when we go over here. So this is number 8 bar or 7 bar. Number 7 bar means 7/8. Number 8 bar means 8/8. So let's bring it back to here. All right. And this is what happened. Now you could do this. Now that's a number 7 bar. So what did it take? 1.2 seconds to bend a 7 or 8 bar. If you did that by hand, it would take 2 or 3 men 15 minutes to set it up, put the bar in, get the angle right. This all happens in 1 second. And then typically on the side of the machine, there's a hydraulic shear. So what you said, a hydraulic press, you could do it with a hydraulic press, but then the dog leg of the bar is going to be sticking up in the air in the ceiling, hitting the lamps. If you have, let's say you're bending rebar that's 20 feet long and you got a 6-foot dog leg on it. Where's that going to go? It's going to go up in the ceiling. Here it's going to just wrap around at waist level, and you'll be able to control it. So it's complete 2 different things, but they work on the same principle, but they're 2 different things. So this machine here, if you call up the company Apple Zang, if you leave them a comment, no one will ever respond to you. No one will ever respond. I want to buy one of these machines. You go to show more. Doesn't tell you how to buy one. So if you leave a message for Apple Zang, they'll zing you with the message. They don't respond. So there are other companies that have responded, but you need. I have to put in WhatsApp into the computer in order to call up the company, and they're in different time zones. One company is in Germany, another company is in India, another company is in Pakistan. Pakistan, I was amazed how many products are made in Pakistan and in India, but more specifically the city around Pakistan. It must have a big industrial complex there where they make one-bag cement mixes, hydraulically operated 1-bag, 2-bag, 3-bag cement mixes, all done with hydraulics. You just bags onto a screed, cut them open, drop the cement in there, then you take a bobcat and fill it up with sand, first sand, then cement, then gravel, and then water, and it's all done hydraulically. And then it's the bank material is lifted up into the machine on a hydraulic lift, and then the machine is turned hydraulically with a different hydraulic motor. Then it turns over into a hopper, and then the hopper goes up a lift. It's all done hydraulically. And getting a price from these people, I tried. I got to tell you, there are other complications besides that. They will bring the product to Manila. There's a lot of complications. What they want is 100% of the cost of the machine put into their company, into an account. Kind of like they want 100% of it, but they'll only ship the machine to Manila or Cebu. From there, you have to hire a customs broker to process the paperwork. You can't do it yourself. 2 years ago, you could do it yourself, but now you cannot. So I have a good customs broker in Cebu, actually very good customs broker in Cebu. But
they will only bring it, and the customs broker is going to add $1,000 onto the cost of the machine. But believe me when I tell you, it's worth it. And he'll also get the machine delivered to your front door from Cebu, but he won't go to Manila. That would cost he'll get the machine shipped to Cebu somehow, and he'll guarantee a truck. This guy tells you that, well, he was off by 14 hours on the time the truck was going to come. That was the truck that Daisy and I were on when we brought the equipment back from Cebu last time. But that was not his fault. That was the shipping company made a mistake for whatever the mistake was. No one was saying. I even asked the captain, and he said, "Yes, sir." When is the boat going to 7? Boat will leave at 7 o'clock, sir. Maybe 6. So we got there at 4. And the boat left, I think it was 3:30 in the morning, the boat left. So what was that? That was 11 hours the boat was off the schedule. But the boat had been scheduled to leave at 3. But at 3 o'clock, when we went to the North Reclamation area, the boat was then again scheduled for 6 and then 7. So it was actually 13 hours from the original scheduling date. And that wouldn't have been problematic, except that we went to the port of departure, which was even further north than the North Reclamation area. And it was hot and probably in the 90s, and it was just finished raining, and it was mosquitoes. And oh my God, that was what a nightmare that was. But we did get the equipment from Cebu to Bohol, and the equipment was moved to where it was supposed to be moved to. And not easy doing business here in the Philippines. In America, I just make a phone call and I tell Frank, I need this thing here. And he goes, all right, Mike, I'll get that thing for you. And he would have it. Or you just go to a reputable dealer and you just say, look, I need this piece. Where do you have this piece of equipment that I can go look at it? And the guy will tell you Pennsylvania, Michigan, Ohio. And you jump in your car and you go, or they send you pictures. And pretty much big companies that sell big equipment, they pretty much give you an honest answer. The only real concern is if you buy an equipment with a diesel engine in it or a hydraulic system, you want to go look at that kind of equipment yourself, because if it's leaking, the motor has, you want to start the motor up cold. You don't want to go to a shop where the motor's already warmed up and waiting for you to look at it. You want to go there on a cold day and start that motor up cold, and you want to listen to the bearings to see if there's any knocking. You want to listen to the wrist pins, idle it at about 1200 to 1700 RPM. You want to listen to that motor when it's cold, and you want to see what comes out of the exhaust. But here in the Philippines, everything is beautiful. Everything works. Just go to Manila. Just go to Cebu. Don't worry. We have it in stock. In stock, as per the beginning of this video, in stock meant that it's a picture in a book, but even though Sherwin said it's in stock in the store, he didn't mean that store it was in stock in. It was in stock in the store in Manila. What he had was a picture. So after we went there June 23rd of 2019. That's July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February. 8 months. Finally, I got confirmation last week. It was in the store, in stock. And when I got there yesterday, it was a picture of the stock that's in Manila, but not the machine that I asked for, a different machine. That's what you get in the Philippines. You just get used to it, because I'm never going to get used to it. So somebody's going to have to get used to it, because I'm just not used to doing business like that. Okay, so let's see what we have here. So we answered Graham's question. Okay. All right, I'm reading the comments. Hold on a minute. I want to check something out here. I'm just looking at another machine here. Just give me a moment. I'm checking something out. Okay, so. All right, I don't know, Graham Bennett. You're just, I don't know. I went to your channel besides the machine. You're just somebody that I don't know who you are. If you want an update on my hotel, you can become a member of my Patreon community at the $20 or above level, and you can see whatever information you're interested there. Whatever is available would be there. So what I'm going to do is, so that I don't waste any more time with you, because you have no content on your channel. You have no subscribers. You don't recommend any channel. See, this is, I don't know who you are, and I really don't care who you are. You might be a legitimate subscriber, but you're not anybody I know. So we're going to remove you from your ability to comment by blocking you, so I don't waste any more time with comments from people that I don't know who you are. So, and that are asking personal information. You see, this man, Graham Bennett, he may very well be somebody I know, but I don't recognize his name. But he's asking for personal information. But he has no personal information about himself up on YouTube. No videos, no subscribed channels, no liked videos, no nothing. Look, here's Graham Bennett, a big fat 0. Graham Bennett. This channel doesn't have any content. I don't answer questions from people whose channels have no content. This is not a troll-orientated channel. Now, if you want personal information, send me your telephone number and I'll give you a call. If you have a U.S. number or a Globe number, send me your telephone number right now. Oh, you can't. I'll give you 2 minutes and then I'm going to block you. So send me your personal phone number. And if I don't see a personal phone number from Graham Bennett, then I'm going to block you. Okay? That's what I think about trolls. No trolls. This is a troll-free zone. All right, so we're going to get back. Thank you very much for being my first troll of the day. You should get a button for that, but you're not going to get a button for that. So that was what a rebar bender was. The other man, Graham, now I'm pretty sure Graham is a member of my Patreon community, but this guy, Graham Bennett, he just made that channel up. Let's go see if we could see where Graham Bennett is. Let's see. Graham Bennett. Where is Graham Bennett? Graham Bennett. Let's see. When did he make? Doesn't even say when he made his channel. Probably about 20 minutes ago. After he saw the name Graham, that I answered the question, he probably made the channel up. So you have 1 more minute. Graham Bennett, you have 1 minute to send me a viable telephone number or email address so that I can talk to you in person on Skype. Okay, so let's get back to the comments. See, I don't mind wasting, on any given day, I don't mind blocking the trolls. And we know that Graham Bennett isn't going to post his telephone number up there because he's a troll. Like I said, how many of my friends on here, and we'll include Dennis and John Escape, and I think Graham, I think you're all three. I think Graham is a member of my Patreon community. There's quite a few Grahams that post under Graham, but I do have a Graham as a Patreon member. How many of my friends will verify that they know exactly what's going on? When they made that, and you don't have to either. But I see friends of mine up on the screen that know what's going on. And Graham Bennett, you're not my friend. I can guarantee you that. the mask thing, truth be told, should be a problem in Hong Kong where they outlawed masks. It doesn't matter whether you wear a mask or not. Now, I spoke with the, okay, when I go on the ocean jet ferries, now I'm not going to show you a video of this, but I have video of me in the pilot house of the ocean jet ferries. And most of the first mates, they remember me because they know I'm a captain as well. And we've talked and I've made videos, private videos for the captain and their families of the ocean jet ferry. So when I walk on the boat, typically the captain, like an airline pilot, is outside the boat for a few minutes, briefing his staff. And then I'll always walk up to the captain and the first mate or the pilot and say hello. They know who I am. So yesterday I was invited into the pilot house of the ship as well. But yesterday they asked me no video. So not a problem. But they are pretty, once you start talking about, vessels and piloting and plotting courses, the course, it's all autopilot. It could be all autopilot from Bohol to Cebu, but they actually pilot the ship. There's actually a man at the wheel following the course because there are 3 men in the pilot house, the captain, the pilot, and one of the first mates. The first mate is learning how to be a pilot. So he has to man the wheel. Now they even let him man the wheel coming out of the harbor. It's just a simple process, just not rocket science. It's got twin screws and no wind and no current. It's not rocket science. So, but they let him pilot the vessel out of the harbor, the student. Now he may have done it 50 times, or he may just be adapt to moving the boat where it wants to be. He took it out right. He backed the boat stern into the wind and let the front of the boat whip around with the starboard engine forward and the port engine in full reverse. The boat came back into the wind. The wind was on the starboard side, pushed the nose of the boat around to the port side, and the momentum pushed it out towards the harbor. And then he gave it some more power with the starboard engine and then gave it same equal power with the port engine and headed straight out into the channel. He did a perfect rotation out of the harbor. And typically they'll let the pilot do that, but I've seen where they let the student learning how to be a pilot do it when no other boats were coming in or out of the harbor. Yesterday there was a boat coming in and out of the harbor, and the student, I do believe, did it. So, but yeah, they'll invite me right into the pilot house. There's not a problem with that because they have seen the videos I posted only for their families. I made videos of what they do and then posted them privately to them through their emails. Let's see, we have onion rings. Let's see, we have another troll here, John. Thank you, John. John is working. Let's see. I'll take care of onion rings. Okay, onion rings, you are history now. No, they don't have to air their dirty laundry out, but I will not, and I refuse to answer questions from people that don't have content. Okay, how simple is that? And you already, I don't even know how you got blocked from John. Thank you, John. Yeah, onion rings, I don't care whether they ask me questions or not, but I have specific rules. I don't answer personal questions on YouTube. And if you want to know my personal information, send me a telephone number or become a member of my Patreon account. And I don't care whether they ask the questions, and I'm just not going to read 40 questions from trolls. And by removing people that I call trolls, I deem them trolls, therefore they are, because my rules are, if you don't have any content on your screen, I don't know you for a long time, You have no liked videos. I've never seen your name before, and you're asking personal questions when the answer to the personal questions is, and my friends can verify this, that I will talk to you on the phone. That's the answer to the question. It's always been like that. I haven't allowed trolls on my channel, and you just have been deemed a troll, and you have just been blocked because you think that everybody should give every answer to every question. That's, you start a channel, Onion Rings, with your 76 subscribers. You start a channel and you start dealing with 3,800 comments a month from people like yourself. Worthless comments, I might add. Worthless comments. I have 3,800 plus comments in the comments section that I deal with on a regular basis. And you start answering comments from the trolls that have nothing to do with today's topic, then you do it. I'm going to leave you. That's your job from now on. You start a channel. Okay, so you start a channel, and Jane Art of Life, thank you for stopping by. Welcome to the machine. Now, Jane Art of Life, she has a channel, and I've known her for about 7 years now, Jane. I guess that's a long time. Well, we have another one, Rocky Bits. Okay, so now we know. Okay, so now we know where all the thumbs down came from, these fake channels. So let's go to Rocky Bits channel. Message deleted. Rocky Bits. Rocky Bits. Rocky Bits. Let's go to Rocky Bits' channel. Here we are. We're over here. We have another troll. We're on troll duty here, unless John took care of it already. Troll duty. Let's go to Rocky Bits. I bet you Rocky Bits has no subscribers, no viewers, no videos, no content. And I bet within seconds, I'm going to be able to block him from posting on my channel. Go to his about page. We're on troll duty. There's 24 views. Started 2007. His channel started. He has 24 views. A big troll channel he is, and a big block. And here we come in for the block. And the ball is passed, and the user is blocked. Adios, Rocky Bits. I'm being permy. Okay, so. All right. There was a captain in the pilot house. The captain is always in the pilot house. That just goes unsaid, truth be told. Don't try to contradict or outsmart me when it comes to working or navigation in a boat or with nomenclature. Please don't do that, because I will just, I'll toss you to the curb. First, your first mate definition, no captain, LOL. Truth be told, I don't need you on my channel. Okay? We're talking about serious stuff here. You want to go. You want to start your own channel with something worthy on your channel, then do that too. But don't come to my channel and give me the LOLs. This isn't an LOL type of channel. I told you who was in the pilot house right from the get-go. The captain, the first mate, and the junior officer that was in school training. Now, I don't know what this comment even means, because your comment is worthless. Your first mate, def, no captain, LOL. What, you can't spell definition? And you're not able to spell definition? You're about like 10 seconds away from being blocked, okay? I'm just not going to deal with the trolls. If you can't spell out a sentence and make a sentence contingent upon a question or a statement or a factual thing, I don't need you on my channel. I just don't need you here. And now I just said we're on troll duty, and here you are trolling my channel with comments that I can't even comprehend. Truth be told. So we have Nikki Manja. You're a Nikki Manja shape-shifting type of guy. And I don't even understand Nikki Manja, Professor Screwwise, chemtrails. And truth be told, I'm going to just delete you. Okay, I'm going to do that. I don't need to hear that kind of crap. I just don't understand it's not, you want to come on my channel, watch this, block users, truth be told, your history, okay? Now, I know who you are, too, but you've never made a content, a sentence, a question that made any sense. Goodbye, okay? I'm not going to have this. We're not going to do that. Already now I spent 12 minutes on trolls. How much more should I spend talking about troll? And you can't put together a sentence that makes sense. People have to sit here and figure it out. If you're not smart enough to put it together, a sentence that makes intelligent, it's either an intelligent question, an intelligent statement, or an intelligent something, then I don't need you on my channel. I'm not going to deal with it. I deal with enough nonsense on my channel from people that have real channels that don't know how to speak English. If you can't speak English, if you can't write English, and you are English, then don't comment at all. Or figure out how to make a question or a statement intelligently. But if I have to sit here and figure out something and with the LOLs, I don't need the LOLs on my channel. I give out LOLs, but after I make an intelligent statement. Thomas Grube put up a video this morning of a well-groomed, manicured backyard. His backyard, Thomas Grube, put out a 54-second video. And it's a beautiful manicured backyard. And I made an intelligent statement. I said, wow, a manicured backyard in the Philippines. What a novel idea, LOL. But he understood what I said. I don't understand what you said. I have no idea what you said. I am not even going to take the time to try to figure out your next worthless comment because I blocked you. I don't need ignorance on my channel. Now, if you think that I'm kidding, I'm not kidding. You're blocked. And I just don't need the aggravation, the time that it takes for me to even talk about this. Maybe by these people watching, they'll understand to stop posting garbage. Canoe in the Philippines. Welcome to the Philippines, Canoe in the Philippines. Now, Canoe in the Philippines, 3 days of snow in Toronto. Well, I heard you had a mild winter so far in Canada, all over the United States. Yeah, John, escape. Rub it in, John. Rub it in. 79 here in Florida today. Telling Canoe, 3 days of snow in see, this is nice to see that there's some banter back and forth. Yeah, that's the first. Yeah, I heard that there's not been much snow. Well, bang a pot. Oh, he wants me to bang a pot. I'm going to go get the pot. For when people ask me to bang a pot, I'll bang a pot. I'm not afraid to bang the pot. I haven't banged the pot in a couple of weeks, but no one asked me to bang the pot, but I will bang the pot. Okay, Graham says, look at Graham. Look at what an intelligent statement, getting back to truth be told. I have never seen real snow, and I'm okay about that. No offense, guys. Time to start banging the pot. Graham, hello to you. Okay, so we're going to bang a pot. We already made a lot. All right, so hang on. Hang on to your heads, folks. We're going to get first I'm going to get a water. Time to start the rainbow. It's a rainbow, flashing colors in the air. We don't care. Hold on, la la la. It's a rainbow. We'll use the big pot. We'll use the big pot. Bang, bang, bang a pot. We just made a lot. Let me make sure this bad boy's centered. And it is. This is the money pot, baby. This is the pot, the most famous pot on YouTube. Bang a pot, make a lot.
It's a rainbow, flashing color on my screen. We started with green. It's a rainbow. I have to go back to the other page. The rainbow, and the rainbow appears. It's a rain. Look at this. We have a rainbow, flashing colors on my screen. We started with green, then we went to blue because they love me, but they don't love you. You know who you are. It's a rainbow. It's a rainbow, flashing colors on my screen. We started with, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, it's a rainbow. Let's go to the other page. Let's go. Oh God, you guys are gonna get somebody very upset. He's gonna be walking around with his head in his hands. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. We got to get rid of that one. There we go. The coronavirus. Oh God, it's appearing. It's appearing on the screen as we speak. Oh, whoa, look at this. Look at this. Look at it's a rainbow, flashing colors on my screen. We started with green, then we went to blue. You know why? They don't like you. Then we went back again to green. Loves to hear the voice of the pot, the tone of the pot. And then we went to blue because they don't like you. It's a rainbow. It's a rainbow, flashing colors on my screen. We start with green, flashing colors on the screen. I have a suggestion, Nightcrawler. Well written. Just lower the volume. Salamat. It's a rainbow. Let us get back to the pot, but we just made a lot. It's a rainbow. I oughta bang the pot. It's a rainbow, flashing colors on my screen. I love the sound of the pot on my head. I feel like Buddha in the Zen Buddhist monastery. I feel like Buddha. It's a rainbow, flashing colors on my screen. We need a flush. A flush. Now there's a novel idea. This is another way to make money on YouTube. We have bang a pot, make a lot. Brings big smiles to your face in the money race. Now, tell you what, John wants a flush. So here's another way. I made a lot of money on YouTube by taking two household discarded plastic containers, filling one up with water, and on one I put the word toilet, and on the other one I put the word John. No offense, John. And I pour the water from the John into the toilet. And that's considered one flush. In America, I have a toilet bowl that flushes in a very special way. I never saw one like it before or after. I put it in one of my houses in America. It's such a cool toilet bowl. I have those up there from March and April, those videos. All I did was flush the toilet and people sent me well over $1,000 for flushing a toilet. But I don't have that toilet here in the Philippines, so I had to improvise. So we'll give you one more bang of pot, and I'll go get those plastic containers and show you what made an additional $1,000 in Super Chat by flushing fake toilet bowls on YouTube. It's a rainbow. All right, so you just hold on. I have those plastic containers available right behind me. I keep them very handy because sometimes I fill them up with water for other uses. But today, oh my God, we have another donation. It's a rainbow. Oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. Oh, so we'll sing to Kanoy in the Philippines. Salamat. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. Kanoy in the Philippines. Salamat. And John Escape. Thank you. And from Kanoy in the Philippines, you have to understand that I am saying thank you on behalf of Michael Fazia and Daisy May, because when enough money accumulates, I will send Daisy half the Super Chat money. That was an agreement I made with Daisy, and Daisy has kept all of her agreements with me. We remain friends to this day, and we're both very comfortable with where we are in life. And anything I can do to help out Daisy, I'm more than happy to do. So thank you on behalf of Michael Fazia and Daisy May and John Escape. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much, John Escape, from Michael Fazia and Daisy May. Thank you very much. So I'm going to go get that pot. LaRue Seagrass. Good morning, LaRue Seagrass. Now there's a spiritual woman who can talk intelligently in several different languages, but more so, she always has something pleasant to say, and she runs a really very upbeat, religious, God-orientated channel. Welcome to the machine, my friend, LaRue Seagrass. Anybody that wants to talk about Jesus and God and religion, LaRue Seagrass is the channel, the only channel that's on my list of subscribers that I'll watch somebody talk about God, because she is a true believer. So, let me get these pots and let me fill one up. All right, here we are now. This is an improvised toilet. So here is the tank. Here is the John. This would be the part that you would sit on and do your business. And this is the tank. Now, in past history, the tank always sat up above the John itself, and you just sat on the seat. And the reason for that is gravity. You could use less water. And what you would do is you'd pull a chain, and that chain would open up a flapper valve, and the flapper valve would flush the water into the John and remove the foreign debris. But we don't have a John. I actually thought about putting that type of a toilet system in the hotel, and I may do that in some of the rooms, just for ornamental purposes. There's not much more or less plumbing involved. It's just a different way to set the plumbing up. So here we have the John, and here we have the tank. Okay, so this made me more than $1,000 this year by doing this. Now watch, we're gonna give you a slow motion flush. Ready? Oh my God. Oh, we are cleansing the John. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah. That simple little two pieces of worthless plastic. You couldn't get a centavo for either one of these plastic pieces. Made more than 1,000 US dollars flushing. Fake artificial flushing on YouTube. Plus the real toilet bowl flushing that happened in America in my house in New York. That made, I don't know how much, a lot, more than 1,000. So I'll show it to you again. It's a Libre flush. No need to super chat or send me a super sticker. John had already sent multiple donations, formed the rainbow. And here's another slow motion flush. Now, this is free of charge. We're not charging for flushes today. Normally, I charge, for the flush. But today is a Libre because it's a full moon. All right, ready? Oh yeah, baby. This is the first one is called a courtesy flush, where it takes the original log away right away to keep the hamut or the smell out of the room. And this is the real flush. The first one was a courtesy flush. So we gave you a courtesy flush, courtesy of Michael Fazio, and an actual flush. Now this is a way to make money on YouTube with 2 worthless plastic containers and a magic marker. This year, these 2 pieces of plastic earned about $1,000 on YouTube. Salamat from Michael Fazio. And these are me. That's right, baby. And we're going to put this down. Thank you for reminding me about the flushing mechanism, John. Salamat for the super chat and the from Canoy and John and Dennis Adams is back. Welcome back to the machine. So let's show you the rainbow. Look at John Escape. Look at this. Up. One up, baby. One up. John Escape that's a super sticker. Another super sticker. Canoy in the Philippines. Love to hear the sound of the pot. John Escape. Thumbs up, baby. And Canoy started it out with bang a pot, get a lot. It's a rainbow. Flashing colors on my screen. We start with green. We go to blue because of you know who. They don't like you. But they do like me and they say it clean. They gave another green. John Escape is here in the Philippines on the chat window. Salamat. Up. And Dennis Adams is in the house and he says, flush it. Flush it, baby. Flush it now. Let's get the pot. Bang a pot. We made a lot. And now we're into flushing. We started out with green and went to blue because they don't like you know who. John Escape with another blue, but not before Canoy hits me with a green. On my screen we see a green and then a blue and then a blue. And then Dennis Adams comes in too with another blue. Flush it, baby. Flush it, baby. And that's how we make money on YouTube. That's how we make money on YouTube. Oh, God. The things I do for you and Blue. All right, baby. Dennis gets a flush. We'll give Dennis a set of flushes. So now, you know how when you go into the John, you know this. I know this. When you first relieve yourself, there's a tendency for there to be the hamut or some gaseous, smelly nature. So if you have any courtesy at all for anybody else in the room, you give it a courtesy flush. So as soon as you cut that log, as soon as that log goes through the sawmill, you hit the flushing mechanism. That's a courtesy flush. Boom. Courtesy flushing. Get the hamut to go down the pipes with the material, the logs, That's a courtesy flush. Now you sit there, you get the paper, whatever, magazine, you sit there, relax, you take care of the rest of your business, and that a few minutes later you're done, and now you give it a final flush. That's how the aristocrats do it. If there's just one bathroom and everybody's using the bathroom, like at a party at the palace, the Queen of England, let's say, right? The Queen of England, if there was just one bathroom, they give it a courtesy flush because that's part of the things they're taught about in the book of etiquette, courtesy flushing 101. So now you're in the bowl, you're in the John in the bathroom. The John is the bathroom, but the John is also the toilet bowl. And they have Johnny bolts that hold the toilet bowl down. And by the way, you can't buy Johnny bolts in the Philippines. They don't know what Johnny bolts are. They've never heard of Johnny bolts. You can't order Johnny bolts, not in their book of toilet accessories. Johnny bolts do not exist in the Philippines. Just want you to know that. So after you've given the courtesy flush, now you sit down, you read the magazine, you clean yourself up, and you give it a real flush, regular flush. Now there's still a small amount of humut in the room because you have the fan on, of course. So if the fan doesn't take care of it, some people will use a spray, or you can light a match. The sulfur usually kills the humut. The humut means smell in Visaya. Humut is smell. Baho is bad smell. There's a difference. Now, the first log that comes through the mill, there's baho. That's baho. The second set of logs and timber that comes down the pike or the river, that's humut. But either way, a double flush is in the book of etiquette if somebody's outside waiting to use the facility. So we're going to say thank you, Dennis Adams. We're going to sing thank you, thank you, thank you very much, Dennis Adams. Salamat from Michael Fazio and Daisy May. Salamat, Dennis. Thank you very much, Dennis. And thank you for posting those videos of your coal stove and teaching people the proper way. There's a proper way to do everything in life. Now, I'm not saying that I know anything about coal stoves, because before I watched the Dennis Adams channel, I had no idea how to load a coal stove. I had no idea what coal cost. I had no idea how long it took to burn, 3 inches or 4 inches of coal. And I had no idea how to stoke a coal stove. Now, could I burn coal? Yeah, I could burn it. But most of the heat, the way I probably would have done it, would have gone up the chimney. But Dennis explains how to what they call bank. I know this word. It's called banking the fire, and you adjust the whatever is adjustable to keep the heat in and yet let air come up through the bottom, through the coal, and into the flue pipe. And the more you close, I think it's called the dampener, the less air goes out through the flue pipe, and the slower the coal burns. So Dennis has it down to where he can do it, I think, twice a day. To get to that point from zero, if you bought your first coal stove, if you were adept at learning fast, I guess you could get to that. But Dennis Adams and his coal burning channel and how to use a coal stove bypasses all need to learn how to use a coal stove. Dennis Adams will teach you how to use a coal stove. Wet soap. That video is going, for some reason, it's going around YouTube again. Anchovies and pizza. This is filmed on a 1080 camera, wet soap. This is the highest quality exterior cam that they had in a store called Staples on I think it was 68th Street, not 68th Street, 58th Street. No, not 58th Street. 90th Street, maybe, on Queens Boulevard. This is the highest resolution cam they had. Now, they had another cam that was a higher resolution, and it was also automatic swiveling. It followed your face. And I said, I'll take that one. It was $139. This one was $60. I think this was $60. It's 60 or 39. There were several models, different names. So the $139 one, I had one of those already, and it followed your face around for about 2 months, and then the servo motors in the auto face following thing broke, but it was a better quality camera. However, we took it out of the box and it didn't follow your face at all. So there was a defect in the box, in the product that was in the box. So this is the highest resolution. So if you're saying, why is it filmed on a PS2? I'm thinking you're saying it's low resolution, and that's the best I can do. I apologize. In the Philippines, they don't even have this quality. So this was bought in America, and it was the best I could. So then Wet Soap. Okay, Wet Soap says, who's here from Penguiz? Oh, Penguizo. That might be a channel that you picked up the anchovies on pizza from. Hey, thanks for stopping by, Wet Soap. And see, he made, I don't know Wet Soap, and he made an intelligent question, not one intelligent question, but 2 intelligent comments, and I responded to them. And then he asks an intelligent question. Okay, that we will answer intelligent questions. We will not respond to ignorance or trolls. Thank you for stopping by. What's up? If you have anything else you want to say, feel free to do so. Dennis Adams says, I absolutely hate going to use a toilet, and it has not been flushed, all in the name of saving water. Flush it, please. I agree, Dennis. I agree. Do you know how much water costs here in the Philippines? 15 pesos, 30 cents per cubic meter. And I don't know, a cubic meter is roughly 29 cubic feet of water. So you can flush the toilet for less than like 1.5 cents. Okay, so how many times do 2 people flush the toilet? 12, 10, 15 times a day. 15 cents a day is cheap to keep the toilet flushed. Okay, I agree with Dennis. All right, so Leaf Dawn is here. Welcome to the machine, Leaf Dawn. Canoe in the Philippines, we say if it's brown, flush it down. If it's yellow, let it mellow. Yeah, but here in the Philippines, it gets mellow rather quick. And besides that, Canoe, I'm going to tell you something. I always used either Cola toilets, Kola toilets in America, or high quality American standard toilet in America. And what I found is that even easy to clean a toilet, because the quality of the porcelain finish on the toilets in America was way better than the quality of the porcelain finish on the toilets coming out of China. Now, the toilet I have behind me was 3,500 pesos, $65. And that it's a whole set with the seat and the guts and the tank and the john. But if you don't flush it right away, it stains. And you take a brush to it and it doesn't clean up so easy. You have to really scrub it. So I try to keep the toilet flushed. If you let it sit, yesterday I left for Cebu. I left the house a little after 4 o'clock in the morning, and I forgot to flush it. Actually, when I got home last night, it had mellowed, Canoe, and I had to scrub maybe for 2 or 3 minutes to get the yellow out. And I don't need to be scrubbing a toilet with all the stuff I have to do. So I try to flush it every time. I agree with you. I agree that you could, if it's brown, flush it down. If it's yellow, let it mellow. If you had a good quality toilet that the
the mellowing material didn't adhere to. It adheres to the, this poor, oh God, everything you buy from China is such junk they sell here. And maybe it's all of Southeast Asia. Maybe it's just we get the lowest quality everything here in the Philippines. But even the toilet bowl I could complain about, and having to double and triple and quadruple and scrub what would normally just flush right out in America. If I left the house at 4 o'clock in the morning from America and left the yellow in the toilet, did you flush it? It would be gone. It would be white again. But here, it was yellow. The bowl was yellow. So it's almost like food coloring on the. I don't want that. I don't need that. I just flush it every time. Thank you. All right, John Escape. Oh, you know what I wanted to talk about? I want to talk about, this was pretty nasty. I'm going to tell you something that a lot of people are going to find pretty disgusting. Okay, so on the boat, now I used the restroom on the boat to Cebu. Now, I left the house at 4:15, and I decided to walk until the jeepney came. In the morning, there's not a lot of jeepney, so I walked from 4:15. I hit the main road about 4:20, and I walked to 4:45. I didn't realize there was a jeepney at 4:45. I did know there was one at 5:20, but apparently they added one at 4:45. So I jump on the jeepney at 4:45. I get to the city of Tagbilaran at 5:45. It wasn't quite 5:45. It was a quick ride. I went to the bank. I took some money out to go to Cebu, because I have another bank in Cebu that I do business with. And if I needed money, it's right near the J Mall. So I just took out enough to get to Cebu. I take up so outside my bank by the BQ Mall, I asked a hobble drivers, motorcycle driver. These guys, they just don't stop. I got a cab story to tell you. I don't know that I would post that video, but in order for the cab driver to make another 5 pesos on the meter, he wasn't going to let me out of the cab. He was going to make the loop through the port. I was not happy about that. I'll probably post that video at the $20 or above, or just send it to my personal friends, but anyway, digressing back. So I get on the boat. I get to the boat port at 5:45. I get off the jeepney. I go to the bank at 6 o'clock. I'm done with my banking. Now, I do know there's a boat. I do remember a boat at 6 o'clock, but I'm going to miss that one. And there's 2 boats that leave from the port of Tagbilaran. One is the Ocean Jet, and the other one is, I forget the name of it, something. Another. I used both boats, but I don't remember the name of the other boat. I haven't done this trip in 6 months. So, okay, so now I'll check out the comments in a minute, Vortex. MTN Vortex. So I get to the ferry, and we had me and the guards there. They actually remember me, because I have videos of me and the guards and my little skit that I do with the Tombok and the Niwang. And as soon as I walked in through the metal detector, they want me to do the bending over exercise. Hey, Niwang, bend over, like that. And I showed them, and we all laughed. But I didn't make a video yesterday because I don't know if it was a new girl, but I said, would you like a video? They said no, because they already have one. And it's the same 3 or 4 people at the metal detectors and the outside gentlemen with the guns that check to see that you have a ticket before you go in. So the way you get a ticket to get onto Ocean Jet is you walk to the far side of the terminal entrance, which is like another 45 feet, and you buy your ticket. Now, you can ask for senior citizen discount,
which I got to tell you, 450 pesos for my ticket. And when we went there in June, Daisy didn't ask for the senior citizen ticket discount, and it was $8.50, and that's outside seating. So I paid $8.50 last time, but this time I showed them my Philippines driver's license and my ACR card, and I said senior discount Polyhogue, and it was $4.50. So 450 pesos if you're over 62. Now you buy your ticket at the farthest window away from the main terminal, and then 12 feet over to the right is the other company that sells tickets. And then another 12 feet over to the right is where you get your seating. And you pay your port fees. But now it's included in the ticket. Something strange went on. They probably, people just got tired of getting stopped for port taxes, but they still have the booth, but they don't collect the taxes. Now they incorporate the port fees into the ticket, but the port fee collector, woman or man, still sits in the booth in Cebu, not in Bohol. Welcome to the Philippines. So now after you get your ticket, you walk 2 windows over to the right from OceanJet, and you ask for your seating arrangements. And you can pick any seat you want. They'll show you a chart. And if it's available, they'll give it to you. So I get on the boat. The boat was not full. It was probably half full. And I go to the waiting area. I did a video of the Virgin Mary statues, and they have holy water. You can dip it in. Very religious place, the Philippines. And then I went outside, and the guard outside, he remembered me, wanted to see me do my stretching exercise with the other men who also remembered me. The 2 of the porters, and there was like 6 porters out there. And they were going, "Hey, Niwang, come over here, Niwang, show them why you are Niwang." So I did, and we all had a bunch of laughs. However, because there was now an outside video camera recording the guard and the porters, they asked me not to make a video, so I didn't do that. But we did have some laughs. Then I went to the boat at 6:45. They started boarding, and I introduced myself to the captain and the first mate. And then I went onto the boat and sat down. Now, this is what I wanted to tell you, that you're not going to be happy about this. So, OceanJet Ferry, I had used the facilities in the port, and I even mentioned that the beautiful building that you wait in now used to be a tent, a regular tarpaulin style tent 6 years ago, and now it's a luxurious building with aircon and windows and doors that work and clean restrooms and ventilation in the restrooms. It's an amazingly beautiful place, the new terminal, and they're just making it better and better every day. In the terminal, there's soap, there's air dryers, there's water, the toilet area is all sparkling clean. You get on the boat, and about halfway through the boat, I was sitting in the back in 57A. That's the chair I like, or the other side, or I like to sit in the middle. So I was sitting where I could see the bathroom, and everybody that went into the bathroom came back out right away, and then opened the door, and then the door closed again. Now I was sitting in the middle of the boat, up about 6 seats away, but I was facing the back of the boat because I was watching what was behind the boat, because the tarpaulin was down in case it rained. So they would go in the bathroom, and they come, because I had to go to the bathroom. And when I went into the bathroom, I closed the door, and I'm looking for the light switch. There's no light switch. There's no light. There's a light, but there's no light switch. So the light should have been on, but the bulb was out. So everybody that went into the bathroom was opening and closing the door again to look for the light switch, when they realized there was no light switch, they had to go to the bathroom in the dark. Not lying to you. Now, it gets worse. There's no water in the sink. Nothing. Zero. No water comes out of the sink. Push the button, turn the valve. No water comes out of the sink on the port's bathroom side. I don't know about the starboard. And then you open the door, and there's a spray bottle with disinfectant. So you have to open the door, you get the spray bottle with the disinfectant, you put it on your hands, and then you close the door, you touch the door handle, you got germs back on your hand again. Oh my God. There's a $1.5 million to $2 million boat, and they don't have running water in the bathrooms or a light in the bathroom on. Anyway, we get to Cebu, and I jumped right in a cab, and my first stop, Polyhogue, was please bring me to the Ayala Mall. And he brought me right to the Ayala Mall. The fare went up. Not the initial cost is still 40 pesos, but typically it costs 95 pesos to get from the port to Ayala Mall. But at 9 o'clock in the morning, it was 143 pesos. So because of the traffic. So the fare didn't go up, but there's more traffic in Cebu now for some reason. I don't know why. And that's pretty much what it cost me to go back and forth. I went back and forth 4 times yesterday, between 135 and 145. So we get to the boat port, brings me to the Ayala Mall, but my first stop was the Insular Life building with the eagle on it in the back by the Starbucks in the back of the mall. And I went into the Insular Life building. God remembered me from June because I made a video for their company. And he said, good morning. I said, I need to go up, see so-and-so on certain floor. Yes, sir. And he took my ID, but didn't even look at it because he knows who I am. And I went right up to the floor I needed to do my business on. And as they promised, the business that I needed to be done was done. And it was waiting for me on the desk. I went into the appropriate representative's office. We did my business, and I was out of there in, I don't know, I don't think I spent 3 minutes with the woman. And she was very pleasant. She took care of what she promised she was going to take care of, 100%, 100%. To what I'm talking about, 100% business is done from the Insular Life building. And I left and went to the Ayala Mall. And I tried to get in the mall before 10 o'clock. And before I went to the Insular Life building, I tried to get in the mall to get some foods. And they said, no, the grocery store doesn't open until 10 o'clock. It used to open at 8 o'clock in the morning. And I never went downstairs to check, but I think that the grocery store in the ICM Mall, according to the guard on the first floor, is no longer open at 8 a.m. They're not opening it till 10. I don't know. But now if you go there, I would say it's not open. The guard said it's not open. I take his word for it. Yeah, MTM Vortex. That's funny. Okay, so that's funny, dude. Okay, so to that I just described. So, and the bathroom in the Ocean Jet Ferry was filthy. It was filthy. Luckily I just had to do a number one. And, oh, by the way, there was no way to flush the toilet. When I pushed the button on the toilet, the lever, it didn't flush. But about 15 seconds later, it flushed. So I was sitting there pushing that handle multiple times, and then finally it flushed. Either it's on a time delay, I don't know. The inside bathrooms of the Ocean Jet Ferries are filthy. I wish the owner would have to go in there and sit down and use the bathroom. Then he would see.
how disgusting it is for 150 or 200 passengers to have to use those bathrooms. They're all disgustingly filthy, every one of them. So to the owner of Ocean Jet Ferries, you go in and use the bathrooms on the outside, non-aircon, and every time I've ever been on your boat, the bathrooms are disgustingly dirty, filthy, stinky, and the floor is full of slimy, greasy garbage. Okay, so if anybody from Ocean Jet Ferries ever watches this video, you go in and see what that bathroom looks like at the end of the day, let's say. No one services the bathroom. Geez, it's really poor quality, really poor quality service in the bathrooms. You know, I don't want to get involved with that. So let's go through the comments again. Canoids. Canoid, oh, definitely flush it down in the Philippines. You know, I thought about that about the toilets cracking, because everything is such poor quality here. Now, I've not heard of anything that cracked a toilet, but I've seen broken toilets where somebody broke the inside layer of porcelain, and in a hotel room in Bacolod City, the inside of the toilet was cracked in one of the rooms I went in, and it was a hole about that big, and you know it's a double bottom. The toilets are two layers, one for the flushing and one for the air, to cause to let the negative vacuum go through it so that it flushes smooth. But I'm not going to tell you how toilets are made now. So yeah, Dennis Allen, baking soda may help with the stain. It sure works on yellow teeth stained from coffee or cigarettes. Yes, you could flush with baking soda. Yeah, you could put that on the brush. Probably it would help. Thank you, MTN Vortex. Thank you for the cheer. Glad you're still cooking, MTN Vortex says. I know you understand. That's right, baby. We understand. All right. So, morning. 222 Fox 1. My friend Carl from England. He's a tree man. He's actually the man that works the wood chipper on a tree service for a tree servicing company. Very dangerous job. Carl and I are the men that went swimming in Alona Beach the day the Chinese woman ran me over with the jet ski. Welcome to the machine, Carl. And Carl's girlfriend was the girl in the videos where we went around the pool and kept hiding her face. Not sure why she did that, but she did. I never did see. If I walked up to Carl's girlfriend right now, not knowing what she looked like in the video, even in real life, she stayed behind the group so she wouldn't be videotaped. And whenever I turned around with the camera, she would look the other way. Very shy girl. MTN Vortex. Pooping in the dark is always awkward. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. That's true. Everyone remembers you, bro. Ha ha ha. Yeah, baby. Yeah, that video. I actually heard that video went to the authorities in the Philippines. I actually heard that. I hope they liked it, because it's one of my best comedy skits I've ever done on YouTube. John would know, MTN Vortex knows which one I'm talking about. It's one of the best comedy skits. Now, if I had to pick my top 10 comedy skits, it would be my marriage counseling videos, and it would be the one where Lucifer was fighting God in heaven, and he went to get recruitments on the other planet. And that would be, I would say, because I had the beard of wisdom at that time, I would say that video would be, if it wouldn't be the number one video, I think it would be the number one video I would pick to show how much acting skills I have, and or my different personas that I can portray. That was one of the best comedy skits I've ever done in my entire life. And that day in my backyard from my house in America, while I was putting the equipment away, and all the equipment was in the backyard, and my piles of lumber and my tools and my stuff from my house in Florida, that was one of the best skits I ever did. And I heard that went to the Philippines Authority to use against me, to try to make people believe that I am crazy. I got to tell you, when I saw the videos that were put together in a montage, every one of the videos in the montage, I would choose to show the different portrayals of my personas in America, in New York, in Florida, in the Philippines. I would say that the videos were used as a montage to prove that there was something wrong with me. I was mentally unstable, and all it does is prove that I have superior acting skills. That would be I would use those 10 videos. In fact, I saved a copy of that, and if I have all those videos in high resolution, I might just do, if I ever get a computer. Warren, I think, sent out my computer a few weeks ago, but he's still in ICU from last Monday. So that's 6 days. I think he sent the computer out last week before Monday. I haven't been able to get in touch with him. But if I get a computer that would handle a proper editing program, I would probably take those videos and portray it as my best moments, like Fazio's 10 best moments on YouTube, or 8 best moments, whatever it is. And then maybe there's other ones too, but I love that video. All right, so let me get back to the comments. John Boonbean is welcome back to the machine. John Boonbean, hello. All right, so how you doing, John? John has a channel from Holland that he portrays different businesses, the roads, the waterways, the beaches, and the streams in Holland. So if you want to see what Holland looks like, John Boonbean has a channel with a lot of videos. I think 56 the last time I counted. All of Holland, even some road videos going by the scenery relatively fast, but you can slow it down or you can stop the video. So that would be something. If you want to see what Holland looks like, go to John's channel. Thank you for stopping by. LaRue Segrest, okay. Thank you for stopping by, LaRue. This lady, see how she says, "Excuse me, host Michael, need to go, see you next time." She's the perfect lady. I would suggest LaRue Segrest's channel. If you want to see an absolutely gorgeous portrayal of what a Filipina can be, LaRue Segrest's channel would be that channel. She is everything ladylike and God-fearing and manners. She's a wonderful lady, LaRue Segrest. Thank you for stopping by, LaRue. Nobody can take a joke anymore. Yeah, well, we have flying circuses in the house. Or DNC is in the house, baby. DNC. It's a rainbow, flashing colors on my screen. We started with green, and we worked our way through blue and blue and blue and blue and green. And now we have blue on the screen again, my friend. DNC's Human Circus. Now let's go to DNC's Human Circus because he has uploads. We'll go to his channel, and I want you to subscribe. I want you to subscribe, Polyhope, please. All right, so we have 79 subscribers. Not enough. We have Clash Intro, Fran talking about wives.
Sentai 7 cruises, island cruises. Okay, so he used to have a lot more videos. But DNC, if DNC is in the house, if DNC is making videos, rest assured, it's worth the watch. So I am, of course, subscribed, and I click the bell. DNC has had the unfortunate luck of having his channel taken down on several occasions for nothing more than sheer and utter brilliant comedy. I got to tell you, this guy DNC, he has wit, he has humor, he has comedic abilities, and he has a bizarre sense of humor that borderlines genius. And yet, people don't like his videos because sometimes he infers pieces of sarcasm and or satire in his videos. So DNC, welcome to the machine, and thank you very much for the super chat. Thank you very much, DNC's Human Circus. Salamat from Michael Fazio and Daisy May. That's right, baby. Thank you, DNC. If you're not subscribed to DNC's channel, please do so. When he puts out a video, it's funny. Those 3 videos that he has up there are just a fraction of what he used to have up there. This man can make you laugh or cry, all with a sense of humor in the background. He's good. He's very good. He's a good YouTube creator, and he's got genius running through his mental facilities. Mark Hoffman says, let's see what Emma Dave, John Boone being with. I were still here, but only did look in YouTube studio how my status off hours are. Okay. John is talking to Dennis Adam. Mark Hoffman says, sat on a closed toilet seat in a hotel and it cracked into pieces. I only weighed 155 pounds. They made me pay like $5 for it. That's not too much. That's about what they cost, a cheap toilet seat. And that's why it cracked, because it was a cheap toilet seat. Mark Hoffman says, I missed it. What's the fine for not wearing a mask? Been putting off my trip to Manila. Okay, so Mark, as a citizen, as of now, there's no fine. But if a cab driver is on duty, or any of the all the cab drivers, the jeepney drivers, and anybody that works on any of the ships around commercial-based ships where they have passenger ships, ferries, the captain, the mate, the deckhands, and the hostesses of the cabin, even the engineer down in the motor room, when they're on the floor with the passengers, they have to wear a mask. And I have a video. I just loaded the video. I don't know that it's up yet. It should be loading now, of the me goofing around with the guys. Let's see. Not yet. Okay. This is my video. The coronavirus mask update, 5,000 pesos, 100 US dollar fines. If you don't wear a mask for the commercial industry, like cab drivers, people that work on boats or jeepneys, not for the average citizen. So this will be posted in a few minutes, maybe 16 minutes. I'll probably post it tonight, Saturday night. That'll be my Saturday night video. So right now the fine is for a cab driver, a jeepney driver, I guess a motorcycle driver too, because they all had masks on. I guess. I don't know that for a fact. The boat, the mates and the deckhands on the boat made it clear they had to wear the mask. Now, they took the mask off so I could make a video of their faces, take a picture of their faces. I made a video and took pictures of their face, but only for their family. But they put the mask right back on within seconds. But it's $100 fine, Mark, for people that are for now. And you want to hear the funny thing? I went to the dentist, which is not funny per se, but true. Let me get back to my channel. The Mark Hoffman. I went to the dentist, and she didn't wear a mask. She didn't wear a mask when she was cleaning my teeth or working on my teeth, and I didn't have a mask on because she was working on my teeth. So the dentist, who's going to be exposed to definite spray from the mouth, neither dentist had on a mask or a face shield. So they're not worried about it. And the reason is, and I won't name the dentist where I go, but they know that the virus can't be stopped with a mask. I said to them, you don't understand, the virus can't be stopped with a mask. And they said, we understand. And in unison, they shook their head. So there wasn't anything to talk about. We have two professionals, 6 years of college, studying dentistry and oral hygiene and germs and bacteria and all that. Two people in unison shook their head immediately when I said, you understand the virus can't be stopped with a mask. And they shook their head, and that was it. The conversation is over. Why? Because they have education that far surpasses everybody else, or 99.99% of the population, when it comes to germs and coming out of the mouth. And they agreed the virus can't be stopped with a mask. So two dentists shook their head in unison, as if to say they've had this question asked before. So they just shook their head. We understand. The woman said, we understand. And that was it. That was the end of the conversation. So she went to work, and the other fellow who had another patient, they went to work. Nobody complained about masks. Nobody talked about masks after that. And that was it. So what I need to do right now, I need to get a little bit of water. And why am I in on Saturday morning? If you saw how much it rained this morning, I got up late. I got up at 6 o'clock this morning. I'm going, wow, the sun is up. It was raining. It was raining. And in fact, it was raining so hard, it pretty much shut down the tourist industry for the morning. All right. Canoe in the Philippines. I have to go now. It was great seeing you, Mr. Fazio. Up early to install a few windows. Canoe, thank you very much. Salamat. Thanks for stopping by. I want to mention Canoe in the Philippines has a channel where he does videos of the malls and the streets in Canada. So if you want to see what Canada looks like, Canoe in the Philippines has a channel that does videos about Canada, and he's also has videos of the Philippines. So please stop by Canoe in the Philippines. Let's just go there right now. Let's go to Canoe in the Philippines' channel, and I'll show you his video list. So he's got 786 subscribers. I'm subscribed naturally. And he has snow time in Toronto. Toronto snow. If some people in the Philippines have never seen snow, this is a good time to check out Canoe in the Philippines' channel. Jollibee's in Toronto. In Toronto. Wow. Seafood in the city and Jollibee's. Now I remember this video. He did this, I think, with your daughter. He did that video. And let's see how many videos he has. He had a lot up at one time. I'm not sure. Okay, he's got a couple of pages. All right. So, yeah, this was a few months ago, Seafood in the City with his daughter. Or niece, but I'm pretty sure it was his daughter. So he's got Vegan City, the town of Ilocos, sir. Or was that Ilocos del Sur? Okay. And Yeah, he's got a lot of videos of the Philippines, but he also have videos of the snow. And yeah, he's got a lot of videos. So Canoe in the Philippines has videos of snow and what Canada looks like, and then his city in his part of the Philippines. I'm not sure how to pronounce that word. Niagara Falls. Wow. Ilocos, sir. Ilocos, sir. Vigan City by day. Okay, so Canoe has videos of snow. Those of you who live in Florida, like that have never seen snow, Canoe in the Philippines is the place to go to see snow, baby. Bye-bye, Canoe. DNC, I wish I could get you 10,000 subscribers, but we know you are one of the best YouTube creators ever. Ever. There has never been anybody that you could say surpasses DNC when it comes to creativity and genius. Although Flying Circus is making a mark, DNC is still number one, baby. Number one, Esau, always in my book. And thank you for the super chat. MTN Vortex. Fine, stop submitting to the DOD. My goodness. Fines are heavy duty penalties. Okay, Mark, you're welcome. See, when Mark, I know that Mark has been a long-term commenter, but he asked an intelligent question. That's what I want to see, intelligent questions. I'll answer all of those. Thank you for the question, Mark, because actually, even though I went over that in the beginning of the video, that's what the video is about. And for the people to go back 2 hours and watch the beginning of the video, they're not gonna catch up with the end of where we are now. So for repetitive questions having to do with the content in the title of the video are welcome. Intelligent questions are welcome. Off-topic questions are sometimes welcome. Personal questions are only answered at the $10 level or above on my Patreon account. It's just at the $10 level or above on my Patreon account. It's just real simple. It's not complicated. I don't know you people, and every time I answer a personal question, what do you do for me? I have to ask you, what do you do for me? I take 15 minutes. Sometimes I get asked a question in the comments of my videos, and I'll take 2 or 3 minutes to answer a question. And they don't even say thank you or nothing. So I don't do it anymore. And I don't care. I could care less whether people subscribe to my, it doesn't make a difference to me. I have a good channel. I have much better content than anybody else in the Philippines, that's for sure. All told, with all my different eclectic videos of construction and boat building and tugboating and walking steel, nobody comes close. So if a man doesn't want to come to my channel and learn something, then go to somebody else's channel and just play it as comedy. All right, so MTN Vortex. I always use YouTube DL in Linux to download the best videos. Well, I don't do a lot of downloading, and I don't really care about the quality so much. And I don't know that my computer is actually working quite well this week. Warren, last Monday, when I did speak with Warren, he was out of the ICU for a few hours. Warren and we cleaned up the C drive. He showed me how to do it again. Now I wrote it down so I don't forget. But about cleaning up the C drive, scanning it, and I gained a half of a gigabyte of storage. But that was all bits and pieces. A disk cleanup. Warren showed me how to do that. I wasn't real familiar, and then we also did
a search for a certain type of cookie. We searched out some different cookies by putting in certain letters. I don't remember what the letters were. That was what cleaned up the computer more than anything else. So, but with the programs I have, I don't know that I can add that Linux program. I'm afraid to add anything. I have a program in my computer called Dragon Naturally Speaking. It's the biggest program in the computer besides the Encyclopedia Britannica, which I had to take out my Encyclopedia Britannica program because there was a conflict between that and Dragon Naturally Speaking. They were the two biggest programs in the computer. So now I don't have Dragon Naturally Speaking anymore. I have Google, speak word speaking, but I just type. I can type pretty fast. And I need to have, I know that before I spoke with Warren on Monday, the previous week, I know he went to his girlfriend's house, a woman friend of his house who had the computer, and picked it up and brought it wherever he picked it up from her, and I think he brought it to the hospital, and I think he was going to send it out. I forgot to ask him last Monday. It wasn't a high priority, but it may have gone out last Monday while he was out of the ICU, and it may very well be. It's in a box with the label on it, but it may very well be sitting in his hospital room. I don't know what he got done, and I'm sure not going to. Monday, I sure wasn't going to harass him to get the computer out after he took off that Sunday before, 2 weeks ago, to go to his girlfriend's house on Sunday to get the computer, and didn't talk to him that day. But then Monday, I talked to him. Well, 2 days in a row. So I don't know but when I get a new computer, the one that Warren is going to send, then I'll be able to put all these new programs in. Let's see. Well, I have them all backed up, but thanks for backing them up for me. Pretty cool. Well, also MTN Vortex. Now there's 700 of those videos. What I call my best comedy videos, are only viewable at the $10 and or $20 level in my Patreon account. And I put them there because if people want to see them, they can become a member. And after a month, you have full membership. I'll give you a call on the phone and talk to you. Now, there are other people, this is a great idea, but I'm not going to do it. I might do it, but not now. It's not high on my priority. When and if Warren's new computer comes, I'm going to do some other things on the computer. I did set up a PayPal Philippines to one of the banks I use that I'm not real crazy about that bank. Philippines, I don't use it much. But anyway, I have a PayPal account, and I was going to set up a website like Rike, and I think Ned is doing it now. To if you have questions about the Philippines, so that you don't have to sign up for my Patreon account, I could talk to people and get them discounts on hotels in Bohol and tell them what's to see, because the Philippines is going to another country. No matter how much research you do on the internet, I got to tell you, the internet is worthless when it comes to research for the Philippines. Absolutely worthless. I mean, it'll tell you that Alona Beach is a beautiful white sand beach, but it forgets to tell you that 85% of the white sand beach is gone, and there's nothing. There's just a walk path and then water and mud. High tide, the water comes up to the walk path, and at low tide, it's just this yellowish brown sand with rocks. No more white sand beach. 85% of Alona Beach is gone. The internet forgets to tell you that. You'll see it in my videos. But for instance, I went, let's see, I'll give you a government agency that I went to. Try to find the telephone number. Try to find a telephone number, a direct telephone number to almost any agency inside the Capitol building. Just try it. Go ahead and try it. Like, let's say that there's a lawyer, right? There's a lawyer in the Capitol building that if there is a misjustice done by another lawyer, there's a lawyer in the Capitol building that knows the law and is associated with the Bar Association. Go ahead and try to find that telephone number to that woman. It's a woman. She's about 27 years old, 28, maybe 30. She looks young. Go ahead and try to find that telephone number. They will pass you to 15 different telephone numbers. Now, you want to find the woman when you go into the Capitol building. You go in the Capitol building and you ask for the lawyer's offices. And in that section of the Capitol building, it's on the second floor, there are, I would say, 30 plus cubicles. And if you ask the woman who's sitting, like the information woman, where the lawyer is that will file charges against another lawyer, she'll tell you, I don't know, sir. Now, this is the first time I went in there several months ago. And so she sent me to another part of the building. They sent me back. And then the woman I was looking for was sitting next to the receptionist. However, okay, the Capitol building is new. It's new. It's not old. I mean, and I were in there last January when the building first opened up, and the entire building open and painted, and the desks were pretty much being assembled, and computers laptops were on the desks of everybody, but there was no internet, nothing, no internet. I don't know Wi-Fi, no internet. So now we did find a person about that could have filed a case against a lawyer that I had just a question about. This was going back I'm thinking it was last January or February, but either way. And we went in there and she sat us down and talked to us for about 10 minutes. And I said, well, can you look up this lawyer's history for the Florida Bar? I mean, for the Bar Association. And it felt, no, sir. I said, why? Well, why not? She goes, we have no internet, sir. I said, well, can you go to a computer that has internet? She goes, no, sir, there's no internet in the building yet. I would have thought that would have been an important thing to put in the government building first, internet. There was the cable for the internet wasn't in the building or wasn't turned on. So that was one agency, try to find that telephone number. Another agency is try to find the telephone number to the probation office in the courthouse building. Go ahead and try to find that telephone number. If there are telephone numbers, but they're all dead numbers. Now, there might be one that works, but it was just simpler to go there and just ask them. Just get on a jeepney, go to the city, go to my BQ, go to ICM, pop over from ICM to the courthouse building, say hello to the guards who are all familiar with me, tell them Ask them if they'd like me to put my shirt on, because the office for probation, I don't. The office for probation, I go there for another reason. I'm not on probation, but and they'll say, sir, if you just go in to see, and Rocky is the head of the probation officer. Him and I have become friends. If you just go into the office, it's okay. You can go. And up, up, up. I do. I push the button, and so. But I always carry my shirt and my long pants, and I always carry my brand new sneakers. Let me show you my brand new sneakers. I have. Oh God, what did I do? I pushed a button. I pushed a button. It brought me to another page. Hold on. Let me show you my brand new 1,000 peso sneakers that I keep in the bag. Okay, let me show you these bad boys. I have two pairs. Here is one pair. Look at these. These are brand new. These are what I wear when I go into the city and take care of business. These are brand new sneakers. See these? Look, brand new. I have heard stories that these sneakers that have 1 day walking on them in the courthouse, I have heard stories that these were old ratty beat up sneakers with pieces of rubber hanging off of them. I have heard these stories. It's an amazing story. I'll have to discuss that story with you at another occasion. But these are brand new Sundugo sneakers. I'm showing them to you so I could put the word Sundugo sneakers, cost of living in the Philippines. These are 2,000 pesos. Some stores have them for 2,200. Okay, so 2,000 pesos is $40. 2,200 pesos is $44. So that's what you get in the Philippines. You get a pair of brand new sneakers, orange, and then I have another pair over there. Hold on. Oh boy. Oh boy. I have another pair of brand new sneakers over here. So I have two pairs of these bad boys that are brand new, right out of the store, and one I keep in the bag, and one I wore to Cebu yesterday. They are identical sneakers. The one I wore to Cebu yesterday, a little bit dusty because I had to walk through some mud last night. But these bad boys right here, these are the bad boys. These will be the public building sneakers. So these are brand new, and these are brand new. Just this has 1 day wear on them in a public building, on a public smooth, and this has 1 day, and then 1 day in Cebu, and these are all brand new sneakers. Okay, rest assured, brand new. They're not dirty, ratty sneakers with rubber hanging off the bottoms of them. They're brand new. See how nice they look? Look, see, they have bottom pieces of rubber and top pieces of rubber, and nothing's hanging off the sneakers. The brand new bad boy sneakers that I keep in a bag. They fell on the floor. Okay, no, over here. Okay, we'll put them back in the bag. I don't even wear these out in the rain because I like to look my best when I go into public places. The stories that you hear on YouTube, they don't stop. They don't stop with the stories. The stories never end. So we put the new sneakers back in the new bag, and we're going to go back to the screen and see what kind of comments we have here. John Escape is talking about Jollibees in New York City, but we're going to do a dating soon. We're going to talk about dating in the Philippines and what you can expect. Now, I think I'm going to do that. Dating in the Philippines live stream is going to be tomorrow's video. And I have an intention, and I have a method, a tried and true method, guaranteed get you a date in the Philippines. I mean, I don't care who you are or what you look like or what your finances are.
you're in the Philippines, I'm going to teach you how to do dating in the Philippines and guarantee you how to get a date. And I'm going to tell you what not to do. Don't expect much when it comes to dating in the Philippines. I don't expect much. And I'll tell you where in Cebu you can go to guarantee that you're going to meet a woman in, well, because of this virus, the women and the men were scarce in the mall yesterday. But I'm going to tell you where to meet a woman by not having to drink alcohol, not having to drink soda or nothing. I'm going to tell you where to go. You just sit down and relax and look around, and somebody is going to be there within minutes to greet you and say hello and to ask you about your life in America. Guaranteed. I'll tell you where that is tomorrow in tomorrow's video. It's going to be dating in the Philippines. Guaranteed 100% success dating in the Philippines. Unlike some of the when guys that are going for the gold, let's say the gold, not the brass ring, but the gold ring, the drop dead gorgeous, sultry, sexy Filipina that has her name and her Globe and Smart and WhatsApp telephone numbers on their page. Don't bother with those girls. They won't show up. But if they did, it would make an interesting video for sure. But I'm going to guarantee you how to get a date in the Philippines, and of course, I'll tell you about the pretty ones that will show up also. But there are tried and true methods to make that happen. So I'm going to give you all my dating insight tips and updates. Okay, so all right, Mark Hoffman. Yeah, MT Vortex. Yeah, that twerking song with by I still don't know how to pronounce that name, but he did that. That was an amazing song. Yeah, thanks for reminding me. That would be in the top 10. Now, John Escape says, address 609 8th Avenue, New York. Hours. I didn't know there was a Jollibee in Manhattan. No, I wouldn't know that. I was actually not on. I don't remember being on 8th Avenue. I was on Avenue of the Americas. I walked up from First Street. From downtown, I walked up Avenue of the Americas to 47th Street when I was in New York in March and April, just for the walk, and I made some videos that are in a box, that are in a box, that are in a box, and I can't find them. But I do have a whole drive full of videos of New York. And then Mark Hoffman says, at least you didn't say no problem, which the millennials say when people say thank you. Yeah, I don't use that expression much, Mark. No problem. The Filipinos, 2 people used it yesterday, but they say wala problemo. One of the cab drivers who making this cab driver, I got to tell you, I had one cab driver on the way from. Then I went from Ayala. See where I went first. I went from Ayala to the J Mall. Then I went from the J Mall to the Gayasano Mall. Then I walked to the Cebu Industrial. Then I took the cab to the place that didn't exist. No one knew where it was. Then I got out and asked, figuring I'll take another secondary cab if someone knows, because the cab driver couldn't find it. We laughed
but it wasn't funny. And then I took the cab back. That was 5, back to the dentist. And then I took the cab to the boat. So 6 cabs I took yesterday. 2 of them went just normal mundane cab rides. 2 of them, there was a conflict of interest in the cab. Not a big conflict of interest, but worth noting. And I have it on video, but I'll probably only post it on my Patreon account to let you know that these cab drivers will screw up your entire vacation or day so that they can make 10 more pesos. And they will. Well, I could tell you the secrets of getting a quick ticket at the boat terminal, but I won't. I'll save that for another day. There is a way to get a quick ticket. I got to tell you, and I'm talking instant ticket. You get a ticket and you won't wait online at the terminal, and you won't be harassed by people asking you to fill forms out or anything like that. You'll just get a ticket within 45 seconds from the time you put your ID on the table, but I won't tell you where that is or how. So yeah, I'll do it in another video. So I tell the cab driver, I want to go to the Terminal 1. He knows where to go. It's not like I want to go to Tagbilaran. He knows which terminal it is. And he goes, okay. And this guy, now I don't know the traffic patterns in Cebu, and there's back streets that I do know of, but the traffic on the main road was horrendous. And the first time you can get to the back street near the terminals where the boats are, there's a turnoff to the left. You're headed to the terminal from wherever. You're headed from the J Mall. Or in this case, we were headed from Cebu Building Materials. Or no, we were headed back from it's headed back from the dentist, from the J Mall. So the first turnoff, I know the streets. I don't know the names of the streets. You can make a left. And you can cut around in the commercial trucking streets where the commercial trucks go in and out of the yards along the docks by the port. Now, if there's no truck blocking that road, it's a clear shot from the first, where you make the left, all the way to Terminal 1. It's the back street you'll see at Terminal 1 that crosses Terminal 1 that goes further down south. But there is no traffic on that road typically. So there was traffic on the main road. And I told the guy, I'm in a hurry. I want to go home. Yes, sir. And we were laughing and giggling and having fun and making jokes and everything like that. And he passed the traffic on the main road. He passes the left-hand turn up. And I said, dude, I looked at him. I said, dude, didn't I tell you I'm in a hurry? Yes, sir. I said, well, why didn't you turn down the street? Why didn't you turn down into the boat port? Yes, sir. We'll turn down the next one. I'm going, well, why didn't you turn down that one? Because I know for a fact those streets are empty. I know that. And when he turned down that street, it was empty. It had a few cars and a truck on it, but it was a clear shot to the terminal. And I said to him, he goes, okay, we will. So we went down that street, but it's blocked at the terminal. So you have to you make your left, you go down that, let's call it Terminal Road, and then you go back up to the main street, and then you come around the main street, and then it'll let you off. It'll bring you back into the port. But going back into the port was like cabs and trucks and loading equipment and unloading equipment, or suitcases and luggage, tricycles, and then there's a cab stand. And I don't go in there with the cab. So I said to the guy, don't go in there, just let me off on the corner. Yes, sir. He wanted to let me off in a different location, and I said, no, I want to go to the terminal, closer to the terminal. So he goes into the terminal, and, that was okay. But then I saw that was going to be 15 minutes to make the U-turn into the terminal.
And I don't want to wait 15 minutes because it was 3:27 when we hit that front street. I know because I got a message from the girl I was going to meet at 12 o'clock. She calls me up at 3:27 and says, "Are you in Cebu?" Yeah, I'm in Cebu. I'm on my way home. I don't even answer the message. So anyway, I said, "Let me out of the cab." "Yes, sir." And he keeps going. And I said, "No, let me out of the cab." "Yes, sir." "No, let me out of it." He goes, "Well, just make the U-turn." I said, "I don't want to make the U-turn. Let me out now. Let me out now," because he had the doors locked. So the meter was like 130. I didn't care about the meter, but it would take 10 minutes to go through the boat port and come back out. And he was looking to put that extra 10 minutes on the meter when all I had to do was get out the door and walk 20 feet to the ticket office. And it's 3:35. And I know the boat leaves around 4 o'clock. I want to get out. If I wait 15 minutes, it wouldn't be a question of being there on time to buy the ticket. It'd be a question as if there were any tickets left. So I said, "Let me out of this cab now. I want to get out." And I took the money out of my pocket and I paid him 10 pesos more than what was on the meter. I said, "Open up the door. Let me out." And he did. And I get online and there's like maybe, I don't know, 25 people ahead of me online. And I get up to the ticket booth and I said, "I need a ticket." She said, "Yes, sir." And she gave me a ticket. And another gentleman handed me a form that says, if you've been to China, you have to fill this form out. If you've been near anybody that sneezed or you've had a cold within the last month, please say yes or no. And of course, everybody said no to all of that stuff. And I hand them back the form. And with that, I hear a person at the booth, "No more tickets? Are you sure?" And she was sure. So I was like, I may have bought one of the last 10 tickets online. Had I went around that circle, I would have had to wait from the 4:20 ferry, when it leaves the dock, to the 6:20 ferry. As it was, I got home at 8:30 at night with the 4:20 ferry because I went to the BQ Mall to pick up some dry goods, on the way home. And I needed that stuff. I wanted to have some fresh vegetables to eat on the way when I woke up this morning. So I got home at 8:30 and I still had to take a bath. And by the time I got into the house and put the computer on, it was 9 o'clock last night. Had I not demanded that the guy unlock the doors and paid him his money in advance plus some small extra, I would have missed that boat and I would have had to wait 2 hours at a terminal doing nothing for 2 hours. So for him to put maybe 10 more pesos on the meter, he was willing to let me miss my boat. Had I gotten online, I don't know, 5 minutes later, I would not have gotten on that boat. And there is another boat that leaves, but it wasn't going to leave until like 5:30. And I don't know if they had tickets available for that boat because that's a different line. That's a different ferry system. So these cab drivers, he did not want to let me out of the cab. He had the doors locked. I'm going, "Let me out of the cab." At first I said it nice, of course. "Yes, sir. We'll just go around. We'll go around." He's trying to tell me Toyok. I'm going, "I don't want to go Toyok. Let me have it now." I mean, where I want to get online is 15 feet from where the door is. And you'll see that in the video. If you're my friend or you're a member of my $20 or above Patreon, you'll see the whole encounter. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. It was this guy trying to make 10 pesos, and it would have cost me 2 hours of sitting in the terminal doing nothing. Oh, first time anybody ever tried to rob anything from me happened in the terminal right after I bought that ticket. And who was it? It was an 12-year-old girl. I swear, I'm not making this stuff up. And it was not a pretty scene. It was not pretty.
I get into the terminal, and when you get off that ticket line, you have your ticket, and then I went in. You show the guard your ticket at Terminal 1, and then there's a booth to the right, 40 feet after the guard booth. There's a booth on the right-hand side. It says terminal fees paid here. And there's 2 agents at the terminal fee booth, but only one was there. So there's a woman there. So now you have your ticket, and I put the ticket on the counter, and now I have pesos in my hand that I put down. I think it's 20 pesos for the terminal fee, and I put that down on the booth. And she goes, "No, sir." "No, sir, what?" "No, sir. I've been doing this for 6 years. I always pay right here." "No, sir, it's included in the ticket now." Because the terminal fee was always backed up to pay the fees. Why they didn't include it in the ticket price to begin with was, of course, so that another person would have a job at the terminal. So I said, "Thank you." And now I have my ticket. I have my wallet out. I have coins out too, in case it went up to 25 pesos. And now I shove the money back in my pocket, but not clean. I just put the rubber band on my wallet, put it back in my pocket. So I have a 20 peso bill just shoved into my change pocket. And now I have the ticket and my wallet put back in. And I go into the terminal. And I also had a camera out that I was going to videotape after I went through the electronic security devices. I don't try to, they don't want you to videotape that. And everybody said hello. "Hey, how you doing?" I guess from watching the videos on YouTube, they know who I am. And they make a joke. "Hey, there's Niwon." And I go, "Yeah, Niwon ko Tamboka." And they laugh. And I go through. I sit down at the terminal. So now I want to take out all my peso bills that I have shoved in my coin pocket, my left-hand pocket. And I had a 50 peso bill, 100 peso bill that was left over from my dental work. It was 850 pesos. And I had 150 pesos that I just shoved in my pocket because I wanted to get right away to the cab. So and then I had a 20 peso bill I took out of another pocket, and I have a pants with 6 pockets in them. And so now there's 2 20s and a 50 and 100 in my change pocket. Then I have the actual ticket, and that's in my hand. And then I had my GoPro that I had just done a video with. So there's the bench, the stainless steel bench seats. And I don't know that I even should tell you what I did, but I did it. But I sit down, and a guy across the seat from me, a Filipino, starts talking to me. "Where are you from?" So I put the camera and the 190 pesos in bills and the ticket and my wallet on the chair. I mean, I'm in a boat terminal inside a port with armed security guards, and I'm sitting 10 inches away. It's on the chair next to me, and I'm sorting through the goods to put, and I had the billfold from my extra pocket where I keep 200 or 300 pesos in my pocket. I had that billfold with a rubber band on it on that pile. So, because I'm going to take the 2 20s and the 50 and put it into that 300 peso billfold. And now then I'll have the ticket, and then I'm going to sort through my wallet and put all the receipts for the day to one side of my wallet. So I have the wallet, the camera, the billfold, and 190 pesos and the ticket on the bench. But I'm sitting there looking at the stuff. I didn't put it down and walk away from it. I didn't put it down and look the other way. I didn't put it down
on a street in a poor area of Cebu. I'm in a boat terminal, and 18 feet from where I'm sitting is 2 armed security guards with shotguns. I'm really not worried about anybody taking my wallet. Really, I'm not worried about that. And the guy across the seat from me looks at me and says, "Hi, how you doing?" And I said, "I'm doing okay. Where are you from?" So I said, "I'm from New York." And with that, a woman sits down about 2 seats away from where the money and the camera and my wallet are. And she does this with her hand, like this. She waves. Now, it's a strange thing that she did, because the man across from me is just a man sitting on the benches 2 meters away. The woman that walked past that man and sat to my right and on the other side of the money did not acknowledge that man when she walked by, because I looked up like this, and she did not look at him. She did not. I looked up because I saw somebody, and I had my wallet down on the bench. I mean, naturally, I'm a little bit protective, but I'm not worried about somebody stealing my wallet in the boat terminal on the seat. I'm sitting right there. And with that, she sits down, doesn't acknowledge the man. She didn't acknowledge the woman to her right or the woman across the bench from her either. There was no acknowledgement like, "Hi, I'm here." As it turns out, they were all one family. So she sits down, and they're still, where she had gotten up from was to the left of the man, about 4 feet to the left of the man. Just the man was to my right, ahead of me, and the woman was to my left. So the man was 3 feet to the right from where I was sitting, and the woman was 3 feet from the left. But there was no interaction with those people. I had been sitting down while I was taking the stuff out of my pocket for maybe 30 or 40 seconds. So the guy says, "Hey, how you doing?" And I said, "Okay, I'm from New York." And with that, the woman sits down, doesn't say hello to him, and she goes like this, but it was actually with her left hand. She goes like this, and it was definitely a hand signal to get somebody to come to her. It was not an arbitrary movement of the hand. And I'm thinking to myself, she's summoning somebody over by hand signal. All right, that's cool. And the guy, he goes, "What part of New York are you from? I know all about New York." And I look up at the guy. And when I look up at him, a 11, 12-year-old girl scoots by me and grabs my wallet and my camera. I'm going, and I'm taking. She did it right in front of me. I wasn't far away from her. It wasn't like she was 3 feet away. I'm looking at the man. My wallet and the camera were just, at waist level on the bench, and the girl just walks by close to my knees. And with that, she puts out 2 hands like this and grabs my wallet and my camera while I was looking at the man. And out of my peripheral vision, I saw what she did, and I grabbed the wallet and the camera. I said, "What are you doing?" And she looked at me scared to death, and she ran away. She ran away over to the other side of the woman that went like this. They set me up to rob me. This is like a scam they got going, looking for somebody that's not paying attention, distracting them, and having a kid walk by. And unsuspectingly, the kid just walked by nonchalantly and just put her 2 hands out to the right like this and grabbed both things. And before she had them off the seat, I had grabbed her hand, which had my camera in it, one hand, and the other hand had my wallet in it. And she let them go right away. She just like they were automatic. And she looked at me scared, and she
I let her hands go naturally, but she scooted over to the far side of the woman and hid behind the woman. And I'm going to myself, ain't this something? I walk the streets at night. I walk Cebu. I walk the North Reclamation area. I walk around the hardware stores. I walk down through the alleys. Nobody bothers me. And I got this 11-year-old kid and their family that's pulling a switch run, a switch. Well, I don't know what they call it, Murphy. Someday there's a word for it on the street. I got this 11-year-old kid, 12-year-old kid. She clear as day. And there's no way that girl did not see me put that stuff down on the counter. And as soon as I put that stuff down on the seat, the woman walked right over to the right of where I was and then waved the little girl over. This was a plan. This was a scam. They got a scam going, and they're working with kids. And this is not the first person you're going to hear this from, that the kids, there'll be a distraction and the kid will stick their hand in your pocket. This was a professional. Now, I didn't say anything at all to the woman or the child or the man. The only thing I said, what are you doing? When I grabbed her two hands with my camera and my wallet in her hands. And she just dropped them like that, scared to death, because she got caught. And the guy across from me looked at the woman really quick, because right away I knew what was going on. This wasn't like something I didn't understand. I put the stuff down. The woman walked over to the right. The guy tried to distract me by saying, hello, where you from? And the girl grabs my stuff. This was a planned thing. Now, did I say anything to the authorities? Nah. You're not going to get anywhere with that. You can't prove it. They'd have to go through the videotapes. You'd have to prove it. The boat's going to leave in 20 minutes. But I don't even know that they got on the boat. I have no idea. They could have bought tickets for that boat or another boat, but this is what happens. You got to pay. I'm in the terminal. I am not worried about anybody taking my wallet. And there's no money in it anyway. Not enough to make it worth their while. Maybe to them, but. Mark Hoffman says, does Jollibee's in the U.S. Does Jollibee's in the U.S. get away with only hiring 24-year or younger Filipinos? Well, Mark, I don't know the answer to that question. Maybe somebody else can answer it. But what I will tell you is there's a law in the Philippines that they don't have to hire anybody in any store that's older than 25. It might be 24, but it is 25. Nobody except superiors in the supermarket are older than 24 when they're hired. All the attendants in the dress shops and the clothes shops are all under 25 unless they've been there and are senior officers now. In the Philippines, they don't have to hire you at all. And everybody, when I go to the NBI to do my work there, everybody that's applying for the NBI certificate is usually under the age of 25. John says, I must say, Mark, here, the USA, they are also very young in Los Angeles that he has seen. Okay, so Chuck, let's see who, Chuck is a name I remember. Chuck Delano, I remember when you called CNN. It was a few years ago. I've called a lot of different agencies. Paper Moon Redux. Yeah, I've called people up and asked them questions. I called up a lot of different people. Listen, I need to get some cold water. If you guys want to stick around. Let's see. It's already, how long is this? This thing is getting a little long in the tooth anyway. I think I'm going to end this stream. I think I'm going to do my dating site stream. Yeah, 3 hours and 14 minutes. I think I'm going to do my dating site stream. I think I'll do that tomorrow. Guaranteed. I'm going to guarantee you 100% success dating tomorrow. I'm going to guarantee it. And I'm going to tell you where you can do it in Cebu or Bohol or Manila. Okay? Yeah, the anise water, John. That's right, baby. But I'm getting it stopped raining. It's a little windy, but I'm getting the bug to go out and make some more distilled water. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say thank you for stopping by, and salamat to Canoy and John Escape and Dennis Adams for the super chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much, John Escape, Dennis Adams, and Canoy in the Philippines, and DNC Human Circus, baby. I didn't forget you. Thank you very much. It's a rainbow, flashing colors on my screen. Started with green, then they worked from green to blue. They don't like you. You know who you are, you always were. And unlike human, it started with green and went to blue. They don't like you. We can only do comments. YouTube is hiding the other super chats. Let's see. We have DNC, baby. DNC. And we had Dennis Adams was next. And then there was several more above. So we're going to end this live stream. When enough money is congregated into the fund, we'll send half to Daisy May. Thank you, everybody. Salamat. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super stickers. Welcome, my son. Welcome to Michael Fazio's machine. Umping Permi from Michael Fazio and Daisy May in the Philippines, baby. Umping Permi.